Hello everyone, it's Nika Manika here and welcome back to my channel. If you're very new in here, welcome. I'm glad we found each other. Hello everyone. Good afternoon and thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much for sa mga patamsak natin dyan. Thank you so much, Blooming Heart. And for the 5 million viewers right now, thank you very much. Hysterical, I'm going to drop a link for you. I'm trying to drop a jacket for you so you will turn blue and not gray. All right. Welcome everyone. Let's have fun. Let's smile and let's enjoy this afternoon. All right. Wait lang guys ha. I just need to set this up a little because I'm not showing. All right. I think everything is just perfectly fine now. All right. All right, good afternoon. Salamat. Thank you so much for coming, guys. Everyone. Ayan, I have a guest. I have a very intriguing guest for this afternoon. Once again, for the 5 million viewers right now, thank you very much for coming. And I hope we are going to be, we are now 6 million viewers right now. Thank you so much. Our JTV vlog, thank you so much. Sis, I hope you can attend for a little while because I'm dropping down a jacket for you, huh? And later on, I'd like to inform everyone that I will only be dropping a jacket for you, but I will not be able to. I will also entertain your questions to our guest for this afternoon, but I wouldn't be able to do an acknowledgement to every one of you because I wanted to focus on the topic so everyone could learn a lot for this afternoon's discussion. All right, you guys are ready. I'm going to introduce to you um, our guest for this afternoon. But I'll just wait for a bit, ha? Tignan ko muna if everything is going to be ready now. Just hold on for a bit. Enjoy lang muna. Let's dance. All right. We have 6 million viewers officially right now. I'll just wait for the others to come for about 3 minutes, I suppose. So then we can hit the start button and we can I can show you my guest for this afternoon. Thank you so much. Eric, can you drop a message in YouTube, and if you can acknowledge that you are already ready. All right. Got it. Our guest is very much ready right now. Um, Eric, you can click the pinned um, link on the top chat box in there. There is a link I provided in there. You can click it up. So you will be redirected and you will be on my waiting list in here. All right. I'll just wait for you backstage so I can be able to approve your, how do you call this, your schedule. The schedule for coming out. Thank you so much. Is the viewers increasing now? It's 6 million officially in here. And all right, guys, let's dance first, all right?
I like it, I love it, I want some more of it.
Guys, how are you doing? For the 8 million viewers right now, thank you so much for coming. How are you guys doing? Okay, our guest is pretty much ready right now. The guest is already in backstage and is ready to come up. Okay, I will bring him up anytime soon, so you guys be ready, all right? I will introduce it to you after. I said, Rufa G Vlog, Sister Rufa, thank you so much for coming. You guys are ready? Rufa G, are you ready? For the 8 million viewers right now, you guys are ready for the very, very hot discussion because I am ready, ready, ready. I am ready, ready in here. And I would be very, very happy to welcome our guest for this afternoon. All right. Rufa G Vlog, what? Yeah. I'm asking Sissy, are you ready? Are you ready for the reveal? Angel News TV, Sissy, thank you very much for coming. Hello, Nika, my dear BG. Oh, yeah, thank you so much, Sissy, for sa BG-BG natin dyan, ha? Maubusan na. Sissy, if you have questions, entertain ha, hindi na lang ako ah, guys, pasensya na ha, if there are coming, I will only give a jacket. Bibigyan ko lang ng jacket, pero hindi ko na ma-acknowledge isa-isa ha, kasi I wanted this afternoon to be a focus of the discussion. Alright? Medyo serious tayo ngayon, pero at least merong matutunan dito ang marami. Alright? Alright, ready na? Okay, ready na ang lahat, then I am going to introduce you our guest for tonight. Alright? Now, after a long, long paliligaw talaga for this guest to, be with us this afternoon and for him to consider a schedule for a 2-hour schedule straight, it, we are very privileged that our guest for tonight has agreed to be with us. All right. Now, without further ado, I am going to introduce to you a registered nurse who is working and residing abroad for 13 years. He is a nursing unit manager and head nurse who specializes in addiction and mental health. With bachelor's and master's degree of science in nursing, please help me welcome our very young and hunky bachelor, Hysterical. Okay, Hysterical, come up. All right, now I'm adding you to the stream, okay? All right. Good afternoon, Eric. Good afternoon, Hysterical. Thank you so much.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for inviting me on your channel, Miss Nika Monica.
No problem. Anytime, Eric. We are going to start very soon, all right? The people here are actually waiting. Once again, shout out to our 8 million viewers. And, you know, dadami pa yan, no, yung maya ng content. Na-late pa siguro yung iba. But anyhow, our topic kasi is medyo a little mainit ito ngayon eh. You guys, I will pin yung link ni Eric sa taas ha. Pipin ko muna yung link ni Eric sa taas para you guys can sandali lang ha. Pipin ko muna para sure tayo dyan. Alright. Alright. Maria Alves, thank you so much. I'm dropping down the link. Alright, right now. Eric, ang gwapo mo daw. Nagsabi dito.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's Eric. Oh. You guys, it's Hysterical yung YouTube channel niya. I have already pinned it. So, guys, kung pwede, is very new in here. So, tulungan natin to guys. Very, very talented young gentleman in here. And nakapin na siya. Kung pwede, atakihin natin, mababalik naman yan later. Thank you so much naman ha. And then, everyone, for your information, Hysterical, yung name na sa YouTube, all because his name is Eric. So since he's in the psychiatric and related to some hysteria and all other stuff that relates into psychiatry, so that the name came up hysterical. That's the origin of the name. His real name is Eric. All right. Sabi ni Angel Nistin, hindi ko alam kung saan ako titingin, sa lobo o sa gwapo. Tignan mo yung pareho, yung lobo dito at saka yung gwapo. Pero si Angel News TV is saying, hindi ko alam kung saan ako titingin, sa lobo daw o sa gwapo. May lobo kasi siyang nakikita eh. Sissy, JTV Vlog, very, very young sa YT World. So that is why, ayun, pinunlakan na ako dito for the benefit of everyone kasi discussion ko na very, very delicate discussion and topic. And I wanted to share with everyone also. So, guys, tulungan natin ha. And then, libre lang naman. Nagbabalik din naman to eh. Ha? Nagbabalik to kasi papatayin ko kapag hindi nagbabalik sa inyo. Alright? Rupa G Vlog News, Angel News TV, sabi ni, sino ba ba? Saan ba? I have to, okay, hello. Lady Shy, hello Alice Hamid, hello everyone. That's narration for Alice Hamid. All right, let's, Ian We, thumbs up po, Happy New Year. Happy New Year and Happy Christmas to everyone. All right. Gusto niyo simulan na natin? Are you guys ready? Sige nga, isang sayaw dyan.
Dile 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 yo alergial mile 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 pe mai.
All right, we are going to start now. Our topic for this afternoon, salamat sa pinagatuan ko ng forever. All right. Erico, sabi ni Angel News TV, salamat Ika, natagpuan ko na ang forever ko. Natagpuan na daw yung forever niya sa'yo. Anong sabi mo dyan, Eric?
Good luck na lang sa akin.
Hindi, mabait yung mga friends.
Ikaw na pangalan niya, Nika Monica.
That's
Ikaw na pangalan niyan.
Angel News TV. Angel News TV is from UK.
Okay. Hi.
Ayan. Angel News TV, hi daw, oh. And also, paki-hi din kay Rufa G Vlog and all other viewers right now. Can you be able to see, can you see the people that are chatting in the chat box?
Not really sure, but dito na sa gilid, yeah.
Yeah, you can see it sa reference sa iba sa YouTube.
Sa comment. Nandito sa comment.
Yes, that is it. Mamaya na. All right. Mamaya na, di pa kami magsa-start? Di pa ready? You guys are ready or not? Kasi sa-start na ako dito. Pag ready na ang lahat. What do you think? Na-shy ako. Huwag kang mag-shy dan. Anyway, let's start now ha. Oy guys, I am going to start kasi baka mahaba-haba yung topic. Marami kayong tanong. I don't want also na kukulangin tayo sa oras. Diba, Eric?
Yeah, opo.
Alright, let's go. Let's start. Okay, now the topic for this afternoon, hindi ko pa natanggal yung banner ko. Oh my God. Alright. The topic for this afternoon is an issue na medyo kailangan talaga ako ng someone to properly discuss it because on my level, I don't want to discuss further na hindi ko naman kakayanin yung scope. So, for this time around, our topic is on issues on addiction and mental health in general. Okay? Thank you so much everyone for coming. Thank you for 11 million who are watching right now. Maraming salamat. And let us start the topic. April Aries, thank you so much. All right. Now, the topic focuses on the issue na talagang very, very relevant naman sa sitwasyon natin ngayon. With this pandemic, in these times, this issue is pretty much applicable. Yung iba nating mga kapatid, hindi binibigyan ng pansin yung issue na to. However, if we are going to dig deeper, marami ang affected ngayon. The situation is just getting worse and worse, especially doon sa younger generation natin. Kaya naisip namin, why not give a education, at least man lang, somehow, nakakatulong tayo with our brothers and sisters. Diba? Alright. Okay, let's go. You got, Badat Guapa, hello Guapa Rupa, and then, if you have any questions in there, you can type, ha? You can type. But I will start the question kasi baka wala pa kasi magtatanong sa inyo, but I'll start the question now. Okay, Eric, before we are going to start the proper discussion, gusto ko lang sanang if on you on your end, you can define the meaning of um, addiction and mental health in general.
Okay, good afternoon to you, CC Nika Monica, and to every one of your viewers. And I'm so glad that you gave me the chance to be here in your channel. To answer your question, actually, mental health is really a broad topic. So parang ang hirap niya pag-usapan. But mental health is actually a state of well-being when an individual or a person is able to cope up with the normal stresses of life, able to able to work productively, fruitfully, able to make a contribution to his or her community and family. While addiction, on the other hand, iba yun naman yung kasi yung addiction kasi it's a behavior, there's an urge that it is hard to control or stop. So parang ang hirap niya, let's say, cigarette, it's another way of addiction. I'll just do a disclaimer po sa lahat ng mga psychiatric nurses dyan, sa mga psychiatrists. Ang binibigay ko pong dito sa opinion ko lang po to sa channel ni Miss Nika Monica is parang point of view ko lang po to as a registered psychiatric nurse who's working in abroad for 13 years.
Yes.
So, and I've been exposed to the mental health system in a different mental health system abroad. At saka kung paano mo makikita din sa iba-ibang psychiatric health system. So, ganun po. Masyadong broad ang mental health pag-usapan. So, yeah. Yun po.
So, Eric, how about kasi what I'm also trying to understand in here are the culture biases. For example, would it also matter sa culture ng isang lugar o country? Kasi 'di ba paiba-iba tayo, 'di ba? Does it affect on the generic definition of a mental health and addiction, or wala talaga to? We are talking about just a generic one. Kasi for example, pag-usapan natin yung halimbawa ikaw kasi yung exposure mo is in Australia, right? You're in Australia. And then paano to? How does it have a big difference when it comes to the mental health status between the country you're in with right now and the country we are here right now sa Pilipinas? Ano bang parang relevance ng dalawa? Does it have any correlation or something?
Yeah, actually that's true, Nika. Kasi there's a really correlation between the two, like the culture, tradition, and between the mental health system. Kasi decades back, mental health system, there's a vast stigma. Malaki kasi ang takot natin before when you talk about, may baliw. Parang talaga takbuhan agad, parang walang makikipag-usap, walang lalapit, walang tutulong. Alam mo yun, pero pag at this time, at this level, kasi I work in the Middle East din before. I have friends from the Middle East as well. They have their own, they have a different culture, they have different traditions as well. Unlike when you're working in a Western culture, iba kasi din sila, di ba? So parang mas open ang Western culture kaysa sa Middle Eastern cultures. I have nothing against Western culture, just a disclaimer. I love their culture as well, but yung stigma is andun pa din. So they have good access to their mental health system, kaso yung stigma ng pamilya when it comes to mental health issues is parang andun pa din. Kaya nahihirapan sila pag may mga pamilyang when they're undergoing mental health issues like depression, anxiety, schizophrenia, bipolar disorders, parang ayaw nila dalhin sa hospital kasi may mga, let's say, sabihin lang natin, kapitbahay na sasabihin agad, hala, may baliw yung nila, yung pamilya nila, wag na lang ganito, ganyan. But
Very true.
unlike when in a Western culture, iba naman din yung sasabihin. Like, example, wala naman din silang pakialam. Alam mo yun? So, they're more open. Like, makita mo lang like, example, let's say in the Philippines, ang daming baliw natin. Wala naman tayong walang tumutulong. Pero, deep inside sa atin, natatakot tayo. Baliw, may baliw pa rin. Huwag kang lalapit dyan. Baka gulpihin ka yan or Andyan pa rin yung stigma. But now, because I think the government changed and especially the Department of Health, the Ministry of Health tried to change its awareness towards mental health system. Parang ino-open nila yung isip natin towards mental health awareness. Kasi dapat naman din, hindi, yung mental health kasi, hindi naman dapat kakatakutan yun eh.
Yes.
Yung parang we don't have to be afraid of it. We just have to to be more aware and face it that there's actually a mental health issue there. Like,
it's really
it's real. It's because the more you hide it, the more you say, no, there's nothing wrong. I'm okay. And I'm okay. And deep at the back of your head, parang I'm not okay. So dun magsisimula yung problema. Yung parang alam mo yung nade-depress ka na pala pero hindi mo lang ina-acknowledge na nade-depress ka na pala. So alam mo yun, that would lead to suicide.
Yeah,
At that's, now in our generation, ang daming nagsusuicide kasi prevalent yung rate ng depression at saka anxiety. So those two disorders are parang yun yung pinakamalaking prevalent rate that would lead to suicide rate.
yes,
At
very,
yun,
very
oo, at alam mo yung hindi siya nabibigyan ng parang importansya kasi parang dinidismiss lang agad natin, especially to those, hindi ko naman nilalahat ha, but I'm just talking in general, especially to those mothers and like parents in general na dinidismiss agad nila yung mga anak nila na they're going through something.
Yes.
No, you're fine. No, you're ganito. You're okay. You're lang yan. I should say Filipinos in general, they're actually really resilient.
very true.
Yeah.
Sisi, quote muna natin ha. Ano bang can we quote the word resilient kasi medyo it's a very deep word kasi how do we set that word into our vernacular here in the Philippines para mas maintindihan siya masyado yung word na resilient kasi it's very, very deep. It's uncommon.
Okay. Resilient in layman's terms, sabihin lang natin kasi Filipinos are known for being its resilience. So
Okay.
matapang tayo. So kahit gaano man like example, mga bagyo, dinubyo, nasunugan man, nasalantaan man ng may mga pinagdadaanan, matapang pa rin tayo. Alam mo yun? Yun yung other term Yun yung pinaka-simplest term na I think nababagay sa the word na resilient.
I think so. I think so too. Medyo magpipin siya. Ano? Oh yeah. But before that, I'd like to remind everyone, dun sa mga bagong comers natin, shout out sa inyo. Kenji Tech, thank you so much for coming. Florenta Alves, thank you so much for coming. And all others. Everyone, kung makikipaglablaban kayo, pwede na kayo makipaglablaban with each other. Ha? So, lang kayo dyan, stay put na kayo dyan while we are discussing the main issue here. Tapos, bibigyan ko lang ng jacket yung mga bago, pero yung may jacket now, you can make friends with everyone na and you can also listen with the discussion. Also, guys, pakidikit yung nakapin ko sa YouTube. That's the YouTube channel of Hysterical. Guys, he is into lifestyle and all other stuff, and also on the side of psychiatry. So, nagbabalik po sa hysterical. Ano na lang ha, favor, thank you so much. Anyway, we are going to continue in here ha. Kasi may question dito, hysterical, no? One of the question raised by Rufa G Vlog is, so meaning walang stigma dyan sa Western country. Like it's normal na sa kanila, yun pag may ganung case, compare mo sa Pilipinas. And second question is, Western country ba is prioritizing mental health issues? So focus muna tayo sa isa. If it's sabi niya, so meaning wala nang stigma dyan sa Western country. Like it's normal na sa kanila yung pag may ganung case compare sa Pilipinas. Can you give that a clarity on this question?
Andun pa rin yung stigma po. To answer the question of Rufa, andun pa rin yung stigma sa Western country kasi hindi naman lahat ng tao sa Western country may access to the mental health system. Kaya tayo may social workers, especially to those citizens na parang nakatira sa mga malalayong lugar na mahirap na abutin ng parang mga social workers. So, let's say, for example, like ako, let's say, nakatira ako sa Australia, di ba? Naglalakad lang ako dito. I'm a psychiatric nurse. Yung ibang hindi nag-work sa mental health system, siguro, hindi lang natin alam, takot din sila, but they're just, like parang deep inside sa kanila, parang they're just behaving normally kasi, para baka hindi nila alam, gugulpihin sila and all dyan sa habang naglalakad sila. So, we cannot really say na wala pa rin yung stigma. Andun pa rin yung stigma, to be honest. Hindi mo talaga matatanggal yung stigma sa Western country when it comes to mental health issues kasi mental health issues is always associated with drug addictions. And when both are addictions and mental, like those two kinds are being associated with each other, malaking problema yon. Kasi mahirap yun siya i-treat eh. Kasi dalawang factors ang magiging mangyayari nun.
So you cannot, and also the approach of treatment wouldn't be sabayan, di ba? You have to treat one first before you can treat the other one, right?
Yeah, exactly. So basically, to answer Rufa's question, the stigma is still there. Hindi mo matatanggal yung stigma, andun pa rin yun. But I think it's the government's, one of the government's responsibilities, I think, na to show more awareness to the public, to the general public, about mental health awareness and the issue to us surrounds it, para at least malaman ng public na, ganito pala, normal lang pala to na may problema sa mental health, ganito, ganyan. At saka, it's normal for us to seek help and treatment. Alam mo yun, kasi pag takot ka, may problema ka sa mental health, hindi ka seek treatment, it will only get worse. So, at saka lalala yan eh. When you get older, hindi yan magiging, if you're not getting any treatment, lalala yan.
Yeah, that's very true.
Mm-hmm.
That's very true. Pero pag sinabi kasi mental health issue, does it somehow relates to ano lang talaga, like is it necessary to have like that a proper diagnosis should be done by a psychiatrist, or can anyone do a diagnosis for a certain case like this?
That's good. That's a good question, Miss Nika. It should only be done by a professional, and that's a psychiatrist. We call it a consultant here in Australia. Sila lang po ang magda-diagnose po based on the signs and symptoms na pinapakita ng pasyente. Hindi po ibang tao, hindi yung kapitbahay po, hindi po yung nurse ang nagbibigay ng diagnosis. Hindi naman po, let's say, kasi may maraming factors yun eh, na ina-assess po yung pasyente muna before dinadiagnose ang isang pasyente na isang sakit. We call it signs and symptoms kasi kumpulan po yung pinapakita na signs and symptoms ng isang pasyente. Parang sa sa medical term, it's a syndrome. But signs and symptoms. So, pag isang symptom lang, hindi mo masasabi agad ng pasyente bipolar. So, pag it's let's say, kung ang pasyente may isa o dalawa o tatlo, it warrants a further assessment
Yes.
para to see if a patient would say if may bipolar ba ang pasyente o wala. Parang ganun. So, hindi siya agad-agad na i-diagnose ito si let's say si patient X may bipolar agad, hindi ganun. Kasi parang kung sa korte pa in the law of court may legal due process. So parang ganun din. Kasi may
And these symptoms always has a medical basis, right? Meron talagang pinapasihan, no? Hindi pwedeng yung symptoms gawa-gawa ng kahit sino lang. The symptoms are already in the book. Just need a confirmatory na, no? Di ba? Hindi siya pwedeng gawa-gawa lang.
Kasi ini-interview yung pasyente may guided questions yun, at magdidepende yung diagnosis ng pasyente depending kung ano yung sinasagot ng pasyente based on the question sa doktor.
Oh, right. That's very good, huh? You guys, if you have any questions in here, kasi the topic is getting hot right now. We are digging deeper, and we will try talaga to explore better, yung talagang para maintindihan nyo. Alright? So, punta tayo sa next question ng Rufa G. Rufa G, satisfied ka ba dun sa first question mo so that I can move on to your next question? Kasi sa second question ng Rufa G, sabi niya, Western country ba is prioritizing mental health issues? Yun yung sabi niya.
Depende kasi yun. I cannot really say kasi we're in a federal country. So parang depende yun per state. Kasi unlike in the Philippines is different. So may budget, like, in a federal state, they have their own budget. They have their own parang, anong tinatawag ito? Called budget. So I think they prioritize mental health issues as well. Kasi syempre, ang daming mga like drug addictions, substance use as well, tapos associated din with mental health issues. Alam mo yun? So, of course, pinaprioritize din nila yun. Kasi, part din yun ng, isang medical issue Though it falls under medical, parang under healthcare issues din. Parang mga medical and surgical na parang usapin na ganun. So,
kasi on their end kasi, di ba, they have a certain allocated budget talaga for that specific division.
Oo.
Oh yeah, very true. Kasi iba-iba naman talaga whether it's Philippines or other countries, regardless kung anong country yan, basta yung country, if they allocated budget for it, of course, they will be able to perform on that certain diba? So, depende rin kasi lahat-lahat sa budget. Hindi lang pwede nating sabihin na kasi bawat country meron naman talagang project na related to healthcare system, diba? It's just that may iba lang talaga that the budget is just properly allocated. Right?
Opo. Tama.
Yeah, let's proceed to sabi ni Florenda I. Filipinos are close family-oriented. Parang rare lang ata ang suicide case natin. You think? What do you think on this one?
We are close family oriented, like culture type of people. But I think I'm not sure, don't quote me on this, but I think meron din, hindi lang siya masyadong nabigyan ng pansin.
That's very true.
And pa rin siya, hindi lang siya nabigyan ng pansin kasi ang daming issue na tinatakol ang gobyerno. Kasi if ang gobyerno, if ang Pilipinas is just a federal country, siguro I think in a specific city or as a specific state, baka mabibigyan ng pansin yan. Baka may mga suicidal rate na statistics na mabibigyan sila ng pansin or mapapakita sila. Parang, I'm not sure. Just don't quote me on that one. But I think there are still suicidal rates in there. And it's probably high. Hindi lang natin alam. Kasi I've got friends. I shouldn't be talking about this, but when way back when I was still like in my university days, I got a friend who committed suicide when I was still studying.
Yes.
Yeah, it was in the news as well, but yeah, it was in the news as well, but alam mo yung hindi lang binibigyan ng masyadong pansin kasi ganun parang malaki ang Pilipinas eh, hindi siya federal country eh. So pero binibigyan pa rin ng pansin, I think.
Yeah,
Mm.
and also I have a second answer to this one. I think the cases natin sa Pilipinas, marami siya. It's just that hindi siya properly reported. No?
Mm.
Kasi wala naman tayong proper, yung maririnig lang natin kung saan yung news, hindi naman hindi naman lahat ng news may proper, anong tawag dito, may nakukuha na nalalaman doon sa exact na sitwasyon, di ba? So it could somehow be merong madaming nangyayari sa kabila na hindi lang talaga siya nare-report or they were not able to find out na may nangyayari na talaga.
Mm.
And let's move on to the next, no? Sabi ni Maria Florenda, uy, gwapo naman hysterical. Alright. Bet ko yung tanong ni Rupa G. Rupa G. Alright, Rupa G is asking another question. Masasabi mo ba na may advantage ang Western country kung i-compare sa Pilipinas sa usaping mental health issues? Kung meron man, masasabi mo ba kung anong kulang sa atin?
I don't want to sound political because of
That's
course,
right. Yeah,
yeah.
that's
I don't want to sound political, but of course, I think in a Western country, maraming advantage because they especially when it comes to mental health, like mental health, under the umbrella of healthcare. So healthcare, they prioritize more the welfare of the citizens. So parang tinutulungan nila ang mga, paano ko ba sabihin na para hindi siya masyadong complicated and it wouldn't sound really political. Parang sa if you work in a Western country, they prioritize more on their healthcare systems. Parang binibigyan nilang pansin masyado yung parang healthcare ng isang citizen nila. So parang mas tinutulungan nila, let's say, nagbibigay sila ng allotted budget talaga ng let's say mental health. For example, itong state na to, may allotted budget talaga sila. Let's say a $1 billion na na allotted budget for healthcare delivery system. So itong $1 billion, sineseparate nila ito sa kahit saang city within that state para lang sa tawag nito, sa healthcare delivery system.
Yes.
That falls under it, like, be it medical, surgical, mental health issues, or parang ganon.
In other words, this thing we have totally different. We cannot compare, right? I mean, from your country and our, of course, we cannot compare that. Your healthcare in there is just pretty good. And and that part, this is on the political side. As much as possible, we would like not, we would encourage here not to discuss more on that side kasi focus tayo dito sa issue talaga.
And I think in fairness to our government, I think they're doing their best naman.
Yes.
Doing their best when it comes to public healthcare, especially they did the new, I think, the healthcare bill now. They submitted the new healthcare bill. Na parang nilibre na yata nila lahat yung mga older people when it comes to the PhilHealth.
Yes. That is also. Yeah.
That's a good step into the right direction. So parang maganda din yun.
Yeah. Kasi maybe it's the start, right?
Yeah.
We don't know. But anyhow, let's move on to Lady Shai's question. She said, but some instances, ang Pilipino pinapauwi pabalik sa Pilipinas kasi sa sobrang buwang na talaga ang chine-check nila ang background is very bad. Can you be able to digest this question?
Hindi ko masyadong maano. I think parang to be specific, parang ganun.
Ang understanding ko sa question ni Lady Shai is But some instances, ang Pilipino, pinapauwi, pabalik sa Pilipinas kasi sa sobrang resilient, sa sobrang resilient, nagiging paranoid, nagiging wild, parang buwang na talaga. Yeah. Sa pagiging, talking about the resilient characteristics of a Filipino. Tapos,
Mhm.
sa sobrang siguro, sa sobrang internalized na so much na yung experiences dito, they tend to become a paranoid to their own self. So, nagiging iba na yung iniisip during the situation pag nandun na sila sa area outside, primarily because the culture is totally different from the Philippines. So, merong tendency siguro that di ba, the reaction of a certain person coming from a different culture and living into a new culture, yung integration ba, yung understanding in between, so nahihirapan. Siguro
Mm.
there are effects on psychological aspect.
I think that depends on the country where the Filipino is working.
All
Kasi hindi naman siguro pinapauwi agad yun eh kasi may legal due process
right,
yung
very true.
legal due process naman before pinapauwi yung isang tao. Kasi if you're working in a country, you are actually under a specific law. Parang may sa healthcare ka pa rin. Parang kahit overseas Filipino workers ka, OFW ka sa isang, let's say, in Dubai or somewhere in the Middle East, ano ka pa rin, tawag ito, under ka pa rin ng Ministry of Health, tapos binabantayan ka pa rin nila, may chine-check ka pa rin nila, hindi ka naman basta-basta pinapauwi ng ganyan, basta-basta lang without proper assessment. Kasi
Right.
kung siguro that particular Filipino na after a further assessment, nakita talaga nila na may problema, kaya siguro they needed to make that hard decision that they needed to let the Filipino go home kasi baka naman that particular worker malalagay yung kumpanya sa alanganin, di ba? So when it comes to that one, I think it's really on an employer side. Parang
So they still on the part of the employer side, they still have to weigh.
Yeah.
Titimbangin nila kung ano talaga, whether it's necessary kasi hindi nila naman pwede pag meron talagang, di ba, an issue with mental health, hindi nila naman pwede nilang forever ipapatrabaho doon kasi it's going to be just pabigat na in the company, right? So they have to pick a choice.
Yeah, and but then again, that particular worker has to still undergo further assessment.
Yeah.
So hindi siya talaga pinapauwi agad na na without assessment or without
Due process.
due process.
Yeah, very, very true. I hope very shy. Eric was able to answer your question. So if anyone still has a question, just drop it down. We will try to answer this one. So once again, thank you very, very, very much for the 12 million viewers right now. And thank you so much for listening. If you have any questions, you can just write it in there and we will try to answer that as much as we can and as comprehensive as we can. All right. Again, guys, I have nakapin yung channel sa guest natin ngayon, a very, very important guest. Nakapin yung channel niya dyan. Pakilab-lab na lang naman. Babalikan niya kayo later once everything is settled down. Alright? Now, let's move on. Welcome, Ed San Juan. Welcome, sweet Abby channel. Thank you, Sissy, for coming by. Miranda, thank you so much. Angel UCP, thank you so much. Let's move on to the next question over here. Okay, sandali lang ha. Salamat. Thank you so much for the 18 million thumbs up plan. Sabi ni Rufa G, next question about addiction. Alright. Totoo bang nakaka-addict ang paghihigit ng marijuana?
That's really a good question because I think I, for one, believe marijuana is actually is okay, pero in moderation kasi marijuana is a medicinal plant.
Yeah.
So they have its medicinal purpose. And I think if you remember the answer of Miss Catriona Gray way back, I don't know which year is it when she won the Miss Universe. Yes. She answered, this question was actually asked during the question and answer portion, and then she answered it really very well. Yeah. And hindi siya nakaka-addict siya when it's there's no urge for you to stop kasi ang marijuana naman it was built for its own medicinal purpose. Pero kung ginagamit mo na siya not as a
Without prescription.
yeah, without prescription, not its intended purpose, it's already an addiction. So yung iba dyan, ginagamit na nila everyday para lang pampatulog kasi ang marijuana is a downer. So,
Alright.
the more you take marijuana, the more na parang super down, matutulog ka lang, hindi ka ma-increase appetite ka, so kumakain ka always. So, parang kaya pag makikita mo yung mga taong yung nag-hit ng marijuana, matataba sila kasi yung appetite nila is sobrang mabilis.
Shoot
Saka,
up.
Oo, shoot up. Tapos always lang sila natutulog. Ganon.
Okay.
Oo, tapos yung like example, let's say I'll just wanna give an example. Like in California, they have their own store there na nagbebenta ng gummy bears with marijuana, parang ingredients kasi it has its own medicinal purpose, yung parang for pain. Oo, for pain.
So,
Oo.
dumadaan sa proseso yon, di ba?
So, depende sa proseso. Oo.
Alright.
So,
Alright.
may legalities yun. Like, in bawal yun. Like, it depends. Like, in Canada, I think, I'm not sure. In Canada, don't quote me on this. I think it's legal somewhere. I don't know which state is it. It's legal na pwedeng gumamit ng marijuana. But to answer me, Rufa's question, in moderation, and if it's prescribed, that's fine. But
Okay.
if it's more than its purpose, it's addiction already.
Alright.
Yeah.
Alright, sige. Proceed tayo. Sabi ni Andre Salas, sabi niya, can I tell if someone has a mental health problem? Or Andre Salas, is your question has a sense of ownership? Is it you are talking about, or is this, can you tell if someone has a mental health problem? Naguguluhan lang ako kasi your question here is, can I tell if someone has a mental health problem? Or maybe Eric, the question here is, can you tell if someone has a mental health problem?
That question is not actually specific, but let's say I'll just give an example, Miss Nika. Let's say, so you could probably tell, let's say a person is going through depression. Nadidepress yung tao. Makikita mo yun kung nadidepress yung tao pag if that, let's say kung ako nadidepress ako, I'm not acting on my usual self. Hindi ako lumalabas.
Wait. The question has just been deleted kasi parang may parang dinago na yung questions in full. Ang sabi niya dito, how can you speak to siguro ata to and help someone with mental health problem like depression or anxiety? That's the question.
Okay.
Yeah, sabi.
Okay.
Okay. And then, what's your stand on this? How can you speak to and help someone with a mental health problem like depression or anxiety?
That's actually a really good question kasi
Yeah, very true.
Kasi sa atin ngayon, we lack communication and we lack compassion. Parang sa friends natin at saka sa extended families and relatives, sa neighbors, like that. So, there are three, before I answer that particular questions, I'll just say there are three components of a mental health. There is emotional well-being, there is psychological well-being, and there is social well-being. Emotional well-being it refers to the emotional quality within you. So it means to say like the feeling of being positive, always being loved, ganyan po. Psychological well-being din naman, it refers to the inter and intra relationship with yourself and to others. So kung sa baga, example, the feeling of being the sense of being having to have the gratitude towards others, like you have the feeling of helping others as well. Yung parang ganun, oo. social well-being naman refers to the sense of being um, helping someone in your society or being part of the society or something that you can contribute to your society. So ganun po. So yun yung tatlong components ng well-being.
Alright.
So going back to your question kung paano mo matutulungan yung taong may depression and anxiety, it's parang it's easier said than done. Parang ang dali niyang sabihin na tawagan mo lang siya, i-text mo lang siya, or i-video call mo lang siya. Parang alam mo yung ganon. So, you just have to listen, I think. Listen first. Kasi mahirap yun. Kahit best friend mo yung undergo. I myself, I will tell you to be honest, I undergone, like, I know I had a depression in my younger years. I had depression. I got anxiety attacks. And I think all of us goes through this, but hindi lang natin na-acknowledge kasi at the back of our minds, we're just saying we're okay. But I'm telling you, it's okay not to be okay. You have to acknowledge it. Say it, it's okay not to be okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You just have to listen. Pakinggan niyo po kung anong sometimes being with them, sit beside them. Being silent is therapeutic. It's one of the if you're I don't know, I'm just talking this one in general kasi mahirap siya sabihin pag hindi ka nagwo-work as a nurse or somewhere in a healthcare. It's one of the therapeutic like way to communicate with a patient. So it's being like a silent, just sitting beside a depressed friend or a family member is already therapeutic.
Yes.
But then once mag-open up po yung family member or a friend who's depressed, dyan mo na magtatanong ka na kung ano bang nangyari, ganito, ganyan. Don't judge them kasi when you judge them, parang mafe-feel sila na parang negative towards sa kanila yun eh. Na parang, oh, bakit ako ginajudge nito? I thought ba tutulungan nila ako, ganito, ganyan. So, parang negative na yun eh. So, instead na you're giving them the positive insight na parang your point of view na tinutulungan mo sila sa part na being, kung ano man ang reason sa depression nila, at least, magbibigyan mo yan sila ng solusyon, di ba? So i-address mo yun, i-acknowledge mo yun na I know you're going through something, I understand, tell me more, we can find something we can find a solution sa problema mo. Kasi I believe in every problem there's always a solution. Parang I always believe on that one. Kasi I think hindi naman sa lahat ng problema walang solusyon. So
and also Eric, in the situations like this, kasi pertaining to depression, if a person is being involved into a certain situation like depression, and yan nga, yun sa tanong na ano nga ba yung tanong, sabi niya, depression and anxiety, it always relate kasi on the unresolved issues. So if a person is being involved to that case, what we always have to remember as the person on the other side, yung tao nasa sitwasyon, gusto niyang mag-out kasi sobrang nasa loob niya. Pero if you are a person, like you are a friend, na nandyan sa sitwasyon, hindi mo siya pwedeng sabihin, ikaw kasi, ganyan kasi yung ginagawa mo. Ikaw, kasalanan mo yan. The more you do blaming side on the specific situation, the more it's not helping the person. So, this way, you just have to be the guide and let the person tell everyone and tell it out until one day, he or she can be able to accept what is the reality. Kasi after all, in this situation, we only need to make the person realize kung ano ba talaga, and then eventually the person involved will going to solve the situation by its own.
And I think I have to quote you on that, Miss Nika, kasi 'di ba sinasabi mo na ikaw kasi may problema ka kasi ikaw may kasalanan eh. Kasi I think that's our usual habit sa Filipinos na parang you're pushing your parang limit eh, na parang kasalanan mo kasi yan, ikaw kasi ganito ganyan eh. instead of doing that, let the person vent their feelings more. Let them
Yes.
talk about the situation more. Kasi the more they talk about their depression or the more they talk about their situation, the more easy it is for them
Yes.
to go through the situation. Kasi ang hirap nun pag wala kang sasabihan eh. So
Very,
and
very true.
and they get more anxious and more depressed kasi wala silang masasabihan at saka it would lead them to suicide
Yes.
kasi wala silang outlet, wala silang channel.
Very, very true. Kasi naman, di ba, the only way for a person to feel better is to express. Alam mo, it's most of the people, yung tao na hindi nila alam, if you are going to look at the situation more deeper, di ba yung taong umiiyak, di ba kapag umiyak ka after, magaan yung loob mo? Kasi psychologically, if you are going to explain the situation, yung part na gusto mong ilabas, nalabas mo through crying, di ba? Otherwise, it will be a burden. Magiging heavy siya doon sa emotional side mo, which is in the later part, hindi siya maganda to develop. Right? Right. Okay, let's move on. I hope I hope that one answers your question. Sabi niya, dito sandali lang ha. Sabi ni Sweet Abby, sorry for bothering but only to give respectful. Cici, thank you so much. You are not bothering at all. Nobody's bothering me at all. Kaso lang, hindi ko kayo ma-attend one by one. Magbibigay lang ako ng jacket sa mga baguhan, pero pwede kayong yung sa mga baguhan dyan, you can just make friends with everyone. Para ano lang, I wanted to focus lang muna sa discussion na yun. And then, so you guys could also learn. Sabi ni Lorenda, may early detection ba ang pagkakaroon ng mental health? That one. I want you to answer that one. Is there an early detection sa pagkakaroon ng mental health?
Yes. There's an early detection sa, I think, depende yan kung anong klaseng disorder ang meron ang isang tao. Kasi, let's say we talk about bipolar disorder, mahirap yun i-diagnose at an early stage pag meron kang bipolar.
Yes.
So, magda-diagnose lang siya maybe on the person's teen years, like let's say 15 or 16 or beyond 15 years of age, parang ganon. So, mahirap siya i-diagnose. But there's an early detection. Let's say an ADHD patient, ADHD, yung mga batang ADHD, pwede na yun ma-diagnose in an early age kasi makikita na yun agad. Kaya pag
Eric, can we give a layman's term on the ADHD kasi I think not everyone is quite familiar with ADHD. Bigay lang natin ng layman's term. Ano ba yung ADHD?
ADHD is attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. Yung parang ano talaga, yung sa in layman's term sa atin is yung parang mapula ang puwet. Ano ba yung tawag nun?
Yung batang hindi pwedeng umupo ng isang corner. Takbo, walang focus, galaw.
Oo. Yung ganon, yung parang ganon. Example lang po yun ha, ano lang po, just a disclaimer.
It's not a diagnosis. No? It's not a diagnosis kasi hindi naman lahat may ADHD. So, it's just an example na sobrang magalaw yung tao na walang focus. Alright?
So,
yung parang term definition.
So, pwede nyo, if you have a good access to the mental health system, at saka, pwede nyo siyang dalhin po sa mga malapit yung mga sa health center nyo na magbibigay ng referral systems kung sino man yung psychiatrist na nasa gobyerno na pwedeng magbigay ng diagnosis or magbigay ng further assessment towards the mental health na issue sa taong yan na or sa particular family member po na may problema.
Wala ka, Eric.
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, move tayo sa next question ha. Kasi that was Florenda I. Lady Shy is saying here, not working but married for 1 year. Ano to? I think not working. Hindi siya paki-clear to. Sabi mo, not working but married for 1 year. Baka related to sa tanong niya kanina regarding nung sa pinapauwi. But can you make the question more specific para masyadong maintindihan? Sabi ni Florenda I, is pagiging loner sign ba ng depression? Ito, what do you think?
Hindi naman siguro na pagiging loner kasi may kanya-kanyang ano naman tayo eh. Parang kung sa ano pa is parang trip lang natin na I wanna be kasi 'di ba may ano yun, may overt na type of person, may may overt type of person. Ano ba yung isang type of person yung parang inner ano yung tawag nun? Overt
Covert and overt. So, yeah.
Covert type of person. So, hindi yun. It doesn't mean to say that if you want to be alone, it means to say that you have a mental health issue. No, it's not.
So, hindi talaga siya, ibig sabihin, hindi siya maging basihan kasi meron naman talaga mga tao na talagang by nature lang nung loner sila na magiging, they are very, very comfortable, but it doesn't necessarily mean kasi meron din naman mga taong depressed under the stage of depression, pero loner din sila. So, hindi mo pwede gawing decision kasi not all loners are having that signs of being, in the situation, right? So, let's move on to Andre Salas. Sino ba ang mas prone sa depression? Lalaki ba or babae? What do you think? What do you think on this one?
I should say, lalaki.
Lalaki.
Depende yun. Kasi before, decades back, they said that it's babae. Pero ngayon kasi, diba, yung parang ang trending kasi, parang nag-iiba-iba all the time. Oo.
Parang there's no benchmark naman talaga. Even to the old studies that that is in accordance to parang demographic, diba? But with situations na iba-iba naman depending on the era, so I think walang specific talaga na which is but probably perhaps this would also depends on the country kasi magmamatter din naman kasi yung sitwasyon, di ba? What if the country is very very anong tawag dito? Cold and depressing kasi no people, you have no one to talk to, di ba?
Exactly. Walang access sa wala kang good enough support system sa, like example, family, friends.
Yes.
So, kaya nade-depress yung tao. Like, if you're just living alone by yourself in a house, at saka wala kang nakakausap, wala kang no one to talk to all the time, so madidepress ka talaga. And I just want to get this like perception na if you're a guy, bawal ka umiyak kasi bakla ka, you're gay. That's not true. That's not true. Kasi hindi naman totoo yan. Guys out there, kung nakikinig kayo sa channel na yun, or if you're listening to this channel, if you're watching this channel, hindi totoo yun. You have to let your feelings out, vent it out. If you're sad, you have to be sad. It's okay not to be okay. Kasi the more, kaya nga maraming nagka-cardiovascular, tawag nito, heart problem yung mga lalaki kasi kinikimkim ng nila yung nila.
Kasi nga 'di ba sa ano tawag dito sa culture natin, yung pagiging macho nakabase siya doon sa lalaking description na ginagawa lang naman ng mga Pilipino na anong tawag dito, Pilipino na sinasabi nila sa kultura na kapag umiyak ka, kapag lalaki umiyak, isa kang pusong mamon, di ba? You belong to the different category. So, in all honesty, hindi naman talaga siya, no? Because crying is just an expression. It's an outlet because of your emotion. The more you hide it, yun yung mga takot sa realidad kasi ayaw nilang i-face yung totoong problema, di ba? Kasi tinatago nila. Normal tayo, regardless of gender. We are human. We are capable to feel. We are capable to be, hurt by anything, right? So,
tao lang din naman kasi tayo and we are like, we have a lot of emotions and we need to show our emotions more.
Very, very true. So, sabi dito ni Maria Albios, meron bang pangpapayat dyan? Ayan, meron naman talaga. Merong bumili ka ng set ng liposuction set. Pwede ba? Hindi, joke lang yun ha. So, but, pero dyan, you can always buy it anywhere. But with proper guidance sa mga doktor. Kasi medical advice and medical guidance is always important before taking any oral stuff. Alright? Follow-up question kay Ruby G. Nakakapag-cause ba ng depression ang pandemyang ito? Alright. Does it cause? Does it cause this pandemic right now? Does it cause depression?
Oo, totoo. Nakakos to ng depression kasi especially if you're living alone, wala kang outlet, and especially if may restrictions yung particular city, or tinatawag natin to sa Western country ng suburb or particular state, na wala kang outlet to do like let's say example exercise,
Yes.
do your own shopping, like you can't do your own usual activities before. Nakaka-depress talaga kasi if you're productive before and then suddenly may pandemya, like example this COVID-19 struck us, and then the state was placed on a massive restrictions and massive lockdown, and hindi ka makakalabas, of course you will get depressed.
Yes.
So that's why you need to find a way for you to, like, to be productive at home, like maybe do some stuff that you're not actually doing before, or probably if you weren't doing something, like let's say if you weren't cleaning that much
Yes.
in your house before, you can probably clean as much as like times 2 now, like double the time as unlike before.
Yes.
So parang ganun, of course, oo, nakaka-depress talaga, especially hindi mo bibisita yung mga friends mo, hindi mo magagawa yung normal activities mo unlike before. Yeah. Diba?
Oh yeah, of course, kasi yun lang naman yung ano natin di ba? In this type of pandemic, this is very new to us, and the adjustment period also matters kasi since hindi tayo sanay na nangyayari ito, of course, isip tayo ng iba-ibang mga kung ano-ano pa sa utak natin kasi bakit ba naging ganito? Marami tayong tanong na wala namang kasagutan. Kasi nga, yung tanong natin, alam natin, pero tinatanong pa rin natin. Yung din nagkakakos ng mas more issues sa sarili natin kasi yung mga clear questions, hindi natin tinatanong kasi we are in the state of denial as well. Right?
Totoo yun.
Right. Okay, let's move on to the next. So, sabi ni Lady Shah is introvert, and it's this is the exact word.
Introvert.
Yeah,
Oo.
covert and overt. But there is also a covert and overt behavior. But there is also introvert and extrovert. But this is the exact word we were looking for earlier. Now, moving on to Rupa G Vlog. I wanna be a millionaire. Sabi ni Rupa G Vlog, I wanna be a millionaire. Sisi, kumala pa ng loto. Sino bang hindi na gusto maging millionaire? Ito pa yung issue ng ganito. Sa sobrang ng kadalasan ng mga tao na gustong dumami at yumaman at maraming pera, ayun, the more stress they are facing as well. Right?
Totoo.
Kasi the more we have inculcated in our mind na gusto nating magkaroon ng ganito, magkaroon ng ganyan, we tend to, do things na hindi naman natin talaga kakayanin, but we cannot sustain it, but we still doing it, right?
Yeah.
The stress comes in. Another question from Andre Salas. The more you cry, the more muta you have. Absolutely. Sinabi mo pa.
Totoo.
Kasi the more you cry, the more ka madidehydrate. So kapag umiyak kayo, inumbong kayo ng tubig because you will be dehydrated. Most definitely. Right? Andre Salas, salamat Doc Nika. Hay, loko-loko na. Walang doktor dito ha, baka mababash tayo dito doktor. Walang doktor dito ha. Eto, joke lang ata to. Angel, John Lyles na okay, I'm giving up a jacket. May tanong si John Lyle dito, Eric. Sabi niya, yung depression ay genetic? Is depression genetic?
I should say Hindi siya depression. Hindi siya genetic rather. Hindi genetic. Oo, hindi siya genetic kasi lahat naman tayo nagkaka-depression eh. So, I mean to say, lahat tayo may genes na parang genes ng depression. So, hindi.
Hindi naman siguro
Oo.
lahat. Maybe lahat may tendency.
May tendency na maging oo.
And then, so it's not basing on the medical point of view on your end. It's not it's not depression. Kasi basing on my personal point of view, it's not. I don't believe that there is yung depression is genetic. No? Baka probably yung other diagnosis, yung schizophrenia, could be. Maybe. Right?
Actually, I think combination siya ng biological, psychological na mga imbalances ng hormones ng brain. Pero I'm not sure. Hindi, wag niyo lang ako i-quote. Pero hindi naman talaga.
But referring to the question of depression is genetic, your stand on this?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Parang
I hope
hindi.
you answered that one, Sean.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, proceed tayo kay Lady Shai. As an experienced psychiatric nurse, anong say mo sa culture natin compare sa Western culture? Positive and negative sides yung walang bias. Okay, maganda tong tanong na to. Maganda tong tanong. You guys, for the 30 million viewers right now, maganda tong tanong ni Lady Shai. As an experienced psychiatric nurse, ito yung tinatanong niya directly to our guest this afternoon, si Hysterical. As an experienced psychiatric nurse, anong say mo sa culture natin? Lady Shai is referring sa culture natin sa Pilipinas compare sa Western culture, positive and negative sides, yung walang bias. So the question is very specific. Walang bias dapat yung sagot.
Okay. I should say sa Western culture siguro they gave up more prioritization sa mental health system. Parang madali siyang i-access ng mga citizen at saka mga residents. So kagad-agad na nabibigyan ng tawag nito, pansin yung problema ng isang pasyente.
Alright.
Hindi naman, please don't quote me on this kung sino man po yung mga ibang psychiatric nurse dyan sa nagtatrabaho sa Pilipinas at saka sa ibang Western country. Ito ang sagot ko lang po ay based on my own experience. So,
iba din yun eh.
Oo. So I think sa Western culture nabibigyan nila agad ng solusyon yung mga accessibility kung sa bagay yung mental health issues ng isang pasyente, while sa atin naman kasi parang ang hirap kasi siyempre sa gobyerno ang daming issues na mahirap, like example gamot, yung pamilya hindi agad na nakokontak na isang social worker na magdala ng itong gamot na to, tapos kulang ang budget. So parang nakakaawa ba in short na sana mabigyan man lang ng importansya ng ang mental health system natin sa Pilipinas, kasi ang daming mga pasyente na nangangailangan ng tulong sa atin at saka needs accessibility, especially sa mga health centers.
Yes.
Health centers, at saka yung stigma andun pa rin eh. So tapos ang parang ang sakit tignan yung alam mo yung example, I just remembered when I was still working, hindi ko lang sasabihin kung saan, but I worked before, tapos may kapwa Pilipino na parang nalagay sa psychiatric facility.
Yeah.
Tapos ang sakit tingnan kasi kapwa mo Pinoy nalagay sa isang psychiatric institution, naging pasyente kasi ganito ganyan. Pero at the same time, you're happy kasi they were able to get the parang privilege na nakuha nila yung tawag nito, tulong sa gobyerno na sa isang psychiatric facility. Pero kung sa Pilipinas man siguro yun, parang ang hirap siguro, parang baka kahit siguro pagkain, parang na parang pahirapan pa, parang wala pa siguro magbibigay, parang alam mo yun. So I'm not sure ha, wag niyo lang akong i-quote on this Sa ano, kasi ang tagal-tagal na nun eh. It's been 13 years na hindi ko lang. Baka may mga changes na din nangyayari ngayon sa Pilipinas about the psychiatric institution dyan sa public health system. So, hindi natin alam. Oo.
Yeah, kasi of course, there will always be changes, no?
Oo.
So, hindi rin natin talagang masasabing ano. But basing on on experience, of course, each of us would only speak on where we are and what we are experiencing on the present situation. But we all have different point of views to that matter. And then moving on, sabi ni Angel News TV here, thank you for very informative information and for two people who are pleasingly in the ears and more pleasing in the eyes. Oh, thank you very much, Angel News TV. Thank you so much. Gusto lang namin bibigyan ng linaw kung ano naman yung mga katanungan sa ating mga present dito. So we encourage everyone, pag meron kayong mga tanong, you can just, raise it up and we can answer it here. And to all sa nagbigay ng 18 million thumbs up, maraming salamat dyan. At sa mga bagong comers, welcome. You are welcome to join. You are welcome to ask any questions that are related with the topic right now. We will answer it as best as we can. Eto, may tanong tayo dito, Sisi. I have also a prepared question that will benefit everybody as well. Ano ang tawag dito? Sandali lang ha. Normal ba ang isang tao na di kumakain kasi feeling busog daw at walang ginagawa kundi umiiyak lang ng walang rason?
Depende yun sa sitwasyon siguro. Baka may pinagdadaanan din yun yung taong umiiyak na yun. Kasi kung, let's say, kung sinasabi mong hindi siya kumakain, ilang araw na hindi siya kumakain.
And then,
busog siya, hindi siya kumakain?
Busog siya, hindi siya kumakain kasi the feeling is so stuff. Busog siya almost all the time. Busog yung tao, ayaw niya kumakain. Tapos, just one corner, umiiyak lang siya. Tapos, sinasabi busog. And I don't know if this is something to do with depression or whatsoever, but the question is, normal pa ba yun sa isang tao na palagi na lang siya nakaka-feel ng busog at ayaw kumain, pero iyak lang siya ng iyak?
I think in my own point of view, parang hindi siya normal kasi ang normal na tao kumakain talaga yun eh. Hindi naman yun always busog ang tao. Nakakaramdam talaga yun ng di ba, ng gutom talaga kahit nga siguro in a day hindi ka lang kakain ka lang ng 3 times a day, gutom ka pa rin eh. At umiiyak ka ng umiiyak, siguro depressed ka na talaga nun kasi I think that's one of the signs and symptoms ng isang depression eh. Na kasi kapag ang tao always feel busog tapos umiiyak, may reason yun kung bakit ganun. So baka nade-depress din yun siguro. Siguro lang ha. Siguro.
Di ba ang bata nga hindi umiiyak kapag busog, di ba?
Kaya nga. So I think siguro naman. I'm not sure. So kailangan doon na tayo papasok kung magtatanong na tayo sa kanila kung ano bang nangyayari. Hindi ka naman ganito, you're not acting normally anymore. So, ano bang problema? Kung bakit ka always busog? Bakit ka umiiyak?
Kasi baka naman kasi it could be also yung tao na nasa sitwasyon, halimbawa, nahiwalayan or nakipaghiwalay sa relasyon, hindi kinaya, sinasabi na nag-iba ng mundo niya, or things like that, diba? Hindi, common naman natin naririnig yan eh. Meron naman talagang taong ganyan eh. Their coping ability is not that, intact.
Hindi intact. Meron ganun.
Tapos meron tanong dito si Andre Salas, ang sex ba ay nakakatulong sa depression? What's your stand on this?
Hindi man ako that's another branch of being a psychiatric nurse kasi yan eh, sexual health.
That is very
hindi naman kasi ako special
opinion na lang. Let's not with this kasi I can also impart my idea on this one, but let's not base it as as someone who's very, very expert in this, but probably our own opinion on this one.
I think it would, yeah. I think it would help. Kasi it parang it gives your whole emotions to someone else. Like example you're having sex with your partner, parang you're giving your love, your intimacy, you share your love, your you're touching your body with like your body with each other. So parang you're sharing your both intimate moments with each other. So parang yeah, oo, nakakatulong din yun with the depression. But again, I'm not a sexual health specialist. Other
Right.
branch in it's psychiatry. So I should say yes, nakakatulong din yun. Di ba, Cizi? I think nakakatulong din yun, di ba, Miss Nika?
Yes, most definitely. If you are going to ask me about my point of view, Andre Salas, if you're going to ask me about my point of view, I will always say na meron talaga, but we just like to put it in the context, right? Like what Hysterical said, na in the context of your partner. Kasi, mas maganda kasi wholesome tayo ngayon. Eh.
Oo.
So, let's just focus it onto your partner kasi. But in sex in general, I feel that my personal point of view is telling me that it can help. Okay, it may not help 100%, but it actually helps quite a
Yeah.
lot. So you are experiencing euphoria, diba? You're experiencing a very, very nice feeling emotionally and sexually in this kasi diba tirik yung mata mo, tirik yung paa mo, tirik yung kamay mo, diba tirik lahat. So, ang tendency nito, talagang you tend to forget so many things that's in your mind, bothering your mind right now. Kasi nga, you are in the moment of just enjoying, gustong-gusto mo yung situation. So, somehow it helps when you're releasing everything.
And
Right?
I think Miss Nika also, parang I think your body is releasing good hormones, happy
Yes, very, very true. Happy.
hormones. So parang I think, yeah.
Sino ba
So,
naman, sino
depression.
ba naman kasi, okay, let's just, parang, kukunan natin to ng example. Sino ba naman yung taong, di ba? Sino ba naman yung taong nasa sitwasyon na I'm depressed. I am depressed. Meron ba ganon? Di ba wala naman? But sabi ni Angel Luz TV, shout out to the people around the world who's been affected by this virus directly, indirectly, economically, medically, and mentally. Yeah, this is
Totoo.
very sad reality, di ba? Because UK, right? Angel News TV is in UK right now. We know the situation of UK, right?
Mm-mm.
Nag-lockdown talaga sila. So, sobrang strict lockdown. So, everything is just affected with this thing. So, shout out. But we should always, we would like to encourage everyone be, to be fully in the same mind. Huwag tayong magpapadala. We have to look for an outlet kasi an outlet is a very, very good channel of our, emotional instability. Alright?
Mm.
So sabi ni Rufa G. Vlog, bakit may taong di makahinga pag naisip nila yung masamang sitwasyon? Eric, what's your stand on this?
I think that's in connection in relation to anxiety.
Anxiety.
O
Okay.
anxiety. Kasi parang naa-anxious siya or baka it's kung sa ano lang to ha, medical jargon lang to Rufa ha, wag mo lang tong isipin. Pero sa epilepsy pa may aura yung pasyenteng yun. Kung ano yun, malalaman nila na mag-epilepsy sila so may aura. So kung sa mga taong papapanik na, may aura din sila yung parang nahihirapan silang makahinga, yung parang magpapanik na lahat na lang feel nila masikip ang buong kwarto siguro pag iniisip nila. So baka they had bad memories or experiences siguro kaya siguro naninikip sila. So I think it's parang related to a bad experience or a traumatic experience siguro na unresolved siya na parang mga conflicts na hindi na-address ng mga bata sila or ng mga adult sila na hindi nila kasi lahat naman tayo wala naman tayong access to therapy hindi naman tayo mayaman na we always have therapies, we just have friends na parang we can open to na magbibigay advice. So I think it's always in relation to anxiety, traumas, parang bad experiences. Kaya siguro pag every time na may mga bad experiences and mga traumatic experiences tayo na naiisip, parang inaano natin na parang na parang hindi natin namamalayan na naninikip na pala yung ano ko, dibdib. So meaning nagka-anxiety ka na, nagpapanik ka na. So parang alam mo yung but again to help yourself when it comes to that kind of situation, deep breathing exercises. So put your hand on your stomach, focus on that area na deep breathe in and then breathe out. So do it again all the time, tapos mag-relax ka na naman ulit.
Yeah. So sa lahat ng mga naka-experience ng similar ang tawag dito experience with sa question ng Rufa, sabi ni Hysterical, it helps when breathe in, breathe out, and you focus on the area kung saan yung ano, so you could be able to feel normal again. Kasi ito lang naman yun eh, we are in the state now, talagang we tend to cope, no? Nagpapanik tayo and we are trying to cope from the situation and hindi kinakaya kasi we don't have anong tawag nito, we don't have the solution on how to do it and the formula to do it. So, ang mangyayari, mas lalala yung sitwasyon na pagiging hindi ka makahinga, right?
Oo. Tama.
So, yeah. I think the example given by Hysterical is very, very applicable. So, Rupa, kapag nakaranas ka ng mga ganun na hindi ka makahinga, yun lang yung gawin mo, okay? Huwag yung kapag hindi ka makahinga, wag mong ilagay yung yung ulo mo sa plastic. Lalo kang hindi makakahinga, di ba?
Focus lang sa good focus lang sa good things.
Yes, kasi normally pag hindi ka na makakahinga because you are in the process of you are experiencing panic attack. So hindi mo pwedeng sabihan yung utak mo na ganito na, gumaganon ka na. Sabihin mo, you are fine, you will be fine. Relax, breathe in, breathe out. You have to help yourself. You have to sustain that para magiging okay ka.
Totoo yun. I think Miss Nika, 'di ba sa inyo sa because psychologist ka,
Yes.
I think sa inyo, 'di ba tinuturuan niyo yung pasyente niyo na think that you are safe. Like
Yes.
think that you are safe, think that you're in a situation like everything is safe and then do the deep breathing. So parang ganoon lang din 'yun.
Kasi
So
normally sa sitwasyon kasi kapag nangyayari yung ganyan, your mind is distorted. Hindi mo
Yeah.
alam. Yung utak mo is very, very cluttered. Alam mo that the idea is there, pero hindi mo alam right away kung sa alin ba dong number 1, si number 2, si number 3. So you have a very cluttered mind. Or hindi talaga kailangan kang i-guide in the situation. Tapos, sabi naman ni Angel News TV, sabi ni Angel News TV, tapos na pala ako kay, sabi ni Andrew Salas, okay, I'm depressed, kaya I need some sex. Sabi ni Andrew Salas, depressed daw siya, so kailangan niya ng sex. Ayan, makukuha mo naman yan sa marami naman dyan Tinder, marami naman dyan pero mag-ingat pa rin tayo because we are facing a very, very scary pandemic right now. We have to be really, really, really be careful. All right, sabi ni Angel News TV, UK studies shows how much people have been mentally affected by the sudden change and predicament people are going through during the pandemic. Highest record of depression cases, laban lang. That is very, very true right now. I think a lot. Some parts of Italy, Canada are also doing the lockdown, and this are affecting a lot of people. But um, the fact that most people here in the Philippines don't have the access of psychologists and psychiatrists, kailangan natin tulungan yung sarili natin, mga sarili natin. Kasi, of course, we have to consider na hindi mura yung psychiatrist and hindi mura yung psychologist. So, on our part, we have to help ourselves as well. That is why this show is being created kasi somehow, in general, we will have a little guide. It's not the full psychiatric knowledge and all, at least yung very, very basic na we will be aware of sa daily life natin, sa mga buhay-buhay natin. Ayan, Gemma E. Kamsakudan. Gemma E, thank you so much. Maraming salamat. binigyan na kita ng jacket ha, kung gusto mo makipaglaban kita, you can do it. Lady Shy, do you think that there's a positive result even a bit when a child is raised by a depressed and unstable parents emotionally? Eric, what's your stand on this?
I think there is no positive result. Kasi parang pag lumalaki yung ano, depende na lang yun pag when the child is growing up, parang na ano yun, parang na intervene yun agad ng parents na agad right away. I think correct me if I'm wrong, Miss Nika, kasi kung makikita yun ng ano, makikita yun ng bata sa according to the psychosocial development ni Eric Erikson, may adolescent stage kasi yung bata. So, yung bata, pag makikita nila yung mama na always depressed, unstable yung parents, so parang magagaya yun ng bata na ay normal pala to na behavior ng parents ko. So, gagayahin nila yun. So hanggang pag lumalaki yung bata, walang nag-guide sa kanya, iisipin ng bata na normal lang yun. So pag normal, so pag normal yun at walang nag-intervene ng behavior na sa kanya, so magiging negative yun hanggang pagtanda niya when she's growing up or when that child reach on his 20s, 30s, 40s, so parang magiging mahirap. So the earlier the intervention will be, the better. So kaya nga sinasabi natin na wag, I think sa pag may mag-aaway yung mama at papa mo sa harap ng bata, hindi siya maganda kasi ina-idolize siya Kaya nga when it comes to, let's say, nag-aaway yung mama at papa mo, yung bata nakikita niya nag-away, paglaki din ng bata magiging violent din yung bata kasi nagiging na-idolize niya yung behavior ng parents and when the child was still a kid. So, hindi siya magandang tawag nito, hindi siya magandang behavior towards in front of a child. So,
and then I am getting you. I'm getting you on that side. Thank you so. We have a newcomer right now. Si Tasteful Sip and Bite. Ano lang ha, pwede ka makipaglablaban dyan, diretso na lang. Hindi ko na lang masyadong ma-acknowledge kasi focus muna tayo sa topic natin kasi very delicate yung issue natin. Kapag may tanong kayo, just ask your question, we will try to answer it. And also, ang nasa pin button ko ngayon is our very special guest for this afternoon, si Hysterical. Add naman natin, puntahan naman natin yung channel niya. Very, very baby pa. Ano lang, if you guys can contribute a little to it, I would very, very much appreciate it. Alright? Tapos, okay, moving on. Sabi kasi dito ni Lady Shai, do you think that there's a positive result, even a bit, when a child is raised? Yun kasi, kapag lumaki ang isang bata, eto sinasabi ko talaga all the time when I do discussion about child parenting and emotional stability related discussion. So sinasabi ko talaga to when the child is being raised and during the imprinting stage of the child, which is 0 to 6 years old, kapag lumalaki ang bata at nakikita niya yung mga bagay-bagay, yun ang paniniwalaan niya na talagang tama. So if that certain kid, yung bata, lumaki sa isang pamilya na may parents na depressed na, ang maiisip niya at pumapatak sa ulo niya is going to be a depression that this is normal. Akala niya na isang depressive family isang normal na bagay. So yung bata, lalaki siyang magiging problematic, very depressed. Of course, di ba? So kayo, yung mga nanay dyan na may anak, you have to remember na kapag ang isang bata na papalaki, kailangan yung guidance nyo, todo. You have to make it double or triple or quadruple kasi hindi pwede maglagay, hindi pwedeng malaman nyo ng bata na I'm sorry, hindi nyo ma-identify kung anong tama sa mali because the most important thing for a child is for the child to identify the right and wrong. Kasi yun yung pinakamaganda. Okay, let's move on to Rupa G. Sabi ni Angel News TV, when you're feeling depressed, mag-YouTube at manood lang kay Nika. Sasaya ka na sa mga palobo. At pa syempre, huwag kalimutan magdasal at magiging positibo. Alright, oo nga naman. O, dapat may palobo. Kaya nga may palobo ako dito eh, di ba? Huwag nyo lang puputukin. Alright, sabi ni Rufachi, paki-explain kung ano ang anxiety at ang depression. Ano ang symptoms nito kung meron. Eric, hysterical. Rufus' question here is, paki-explain kung ano ang anxiety at ang depression. Ano ang symptoma? Ang symptoms nito, kung meron kayo nito, ano ang common symptoms? Okay, layman's term para yung full understanding na sa lahat.
Pwede ko ba basahin sa sa ang definition nito?
Yeah, basahin.
Sige.
Pwede mo basahin.
Just give me a second ha.
Ayan.
Para lang explain ko lang, oo.
Yes. Yeah, welcome to our 8 million viewers right now. Thank you so much. Ayan. Lablaban lang kayo dyan, ha? You guys just, make friends with everyone. Pag wala pang, ayun, meron pang time kasi guest natin ngayon is nag-refer ng precise cases kasi hindi pwede magbigay ng
So gusto ko lang magbigay ng evidence based sa kung ano man ang ibig sabihin ng anxiety. So anxiety is more than the feeling of nervous before a specific event like giving an important presentation. So usually the nervous feelings are short-lived and go away once the stressful event has ended. So when the anxiety does not go away and is long-term, it starts to affect your daily activities. Everyone is different. So anxiety has a combination of emotional and physical symptoms, but but anxiety is complex and sometimes you won't be able to identify the cause of your anxiety. But always remember that when you have anxiety, you always need to have help. So ang symptoms ng anxiety, it's either depende yan, dalawa yan emotional or physical. So kung emotional yan, it's either you're worrying, nervous, fearful, unable to think clearly, trouble focusing. Kung physical ka naman, it's either sweating yung pamamawis, trembling yung tawag ito, parang ano ba sa Tagalog yun, Nika? Yung parang trembling yung parang nag-ano ka. Nanginginig.
Yes, that's it.
Nanginginig, insomnia, yung hindi ka nakakatulog, tapos restless, yung parang hindi ka talaga nakaka-stay sa isang lugar. Rapid breathing, meaning to say, yung parang ang bilis ng takbo yung takbo ng hinga mo. Tapos upset stomach, yung always ka na sa loob ng banyo, tapos nausea, yung parang nafe-feel tawag nito, parang gusto mong sumuka. So, yung anxiety kasi, pag hindi siya na-treat, nagkukos yan ng parang may three levels kasi yan mild, moderate, and severe. Ang mild, okay pa yan. Moderate is medyo treatable pa yan. Pero pag more than sa severe na yan, yung panic na, hindi na yan mahirap na yan siya talaga ito i-intervene.
Yes.
So kaya nga for those individuals who have anxiety, they need to seek treatment right away. Pero hindi naman yun treatment na yung yung mild anxiety lang. Naman yun, may ibang anxiety naman na therapeutic yung mild anxiety kasi like example, let's say for example, nagte-take ka ng exam. You're on a mild anxiety level nun So, mabilis yung takbo ng memories mo nun, yung memorization, yung ganun, therapeutic yun. Pero pag nasa moderate to severe ka na, iba na yun, yung nagma-mental blackout ka na. So, hindi na yun siya therapeutic. Okay?
That's very true. Pero, kasi ang sabi ni Rupa dito, okay, that's very true. Mga symptoms kasi yung hinihingi niya Kasi, pero paano yun hysterical? Like for example, kasi meron naman tayong mga layman's term na ang tawag dito, merong mga layman's term na sinasabi yung mga tao na yung very, very common people ang sinasabi nila, is it right na ba na gagamitin nilang words na, ayun ayan na yan, may ano na yan, yung umiyak yan, mga 3 araw na yan, umiyak, ano na yan, may depression na yan, sintoma na yan, kailangan na yan, nabubuang na yan. Is it right to label that for people, or what is your stand about those type of judgment na nangyayari sa society natin?
Diyan na kasi papasok yung bullying. Alam mo yung nagbubully na ng oo. Kaya yung tawag nito, kaya parang rampant siya sa Western culture na yan parang binubully na agad kasi umiiyak lang, ganito ganyan. Sa Pilipinas hindi naman kasi ang Pilipino mga resilient yan kahit binubully, tawa lang tayo. Oy, pag nade-depress, pinapatawa lang, okay na agad kahit may problema, alam mo 'yun? So parang kahit hindi in my own opinion, hindi siya tama na you have to label someone na ay nabubuwang na yan, nagaganito ganyan kasi may feelings pa rin yun parang alam mo yun, masasaktan pa rin yung tao. We don't know what the person is going through. Hindi natin alam kung ano ang baka masyado ng malaki yung pinagdadaanan at saka mahirap na yung pinagdadaanan. Wala lang siyang outlet na na parang pagsasabihan or outlet na outlet na mahanap yung tao. Kaya siguro ganun ang nangyayari. So, I think we just have to be really sensitive sa mga kapwa natin. It's easier said than done, but based on my experience, we just have to be really, really sensitive kasi pag ikaw na po yung andyan sa sitwasyon, ang hirap po. Ang hirap po talaga. Mm-mm.
Pero hysterical, meron tanong dito si Lady Shai. Sa last question, meron yung question na nilagay dito. Sabi niya, can you detect, being in your field right now as a psychiatric head nurse, can you be able to detect if your patient is just pretending to have a mental health issue? Is there a way, or is there a gauge from the medical side that you can be able to detect if the patient is just pretending to have, like for example, nagda-drama lang, halimbawa lang, like for example,
hindi kasi yung as a psychiatric nurse, may within your shift, may mental state examination ka. So inoobserbahan mo yung behavior ng isang pasyente all throughout your shift. So nagno-notes ka, nagbibigay ka ng report sa isang doktor kung ano bang nangyayari sa isang pasyente. Of course, it's not parang binabypass mo yung authority ng isang doktor na kung magsasabi ka na, nag-act, lang to yung mo, pasyente. Pwedeng gano'n. So, you just have to parang let the doctor do its job. I mean, their job, na pwede mong sabihin na, doktor, pwede mo bang, kitain yung pasyente ko, ganito, ganyan, pwede mo bang ma-interview yung pasyente ko? Kasi, hindi, may naman yun may proseso naman yung pagdadaanan yung pasyente kung makikita naman nila kung ang pasyente nag-acting-actingan lang at hindi. Kasi, at saka besides, may gamot naman din na iniinom talaga. At tini-check naman talaga namin din ang mga pasyente kung umiinom ba ng gamot o hindi. So ganun talaga, oo. Mm-hmm.
So, okay, I hope that answers the question. Pero what about, so do you have any idea what the doctors will do na, for example, paano pag lang talaga, totoo talagang nagdadrama lang talaga yung pasyente? Sino ba talaga yung may karapatan maghusga nun? It's only the doctor, no? Walang iba, no? Siya lang yung kung sino naka-assign po. It's only the psychiatrist.
It's only sa psychiatrist kasi sila naman ang consultant, sila talaga ang head ng team. Tapos may we call it dito sa I don't know sa other countries kasi may tawag na mental health tribunal. So ang pasyente kung sa ibang I don't know kung paano ko ba explain sa inyo, but ang pasyente, if matagal na sila, let's say example 2 o 3 buwan na siya na nasa inpatient, haharap sila sa isang grupo na isang parang i-panel interview ang pasyente. At
Alright.
i-interview siya ng isang random na mga tao. At
Alright.
doon parang parang titingnan nila kung ang pasyente ba talaga may sakit ba talaga o wala, or i-extend ba nila ang admission ng pasyente o hindi. So parang may assessment pa rin na mangyayari. So hindi lang ang doktor, but marami siyang members ng team na magde-decide kung ang pasyente ba i-admit o hindi. So kaya in a Western country, masyado siyang ang mga pasyente masyadong parang kung sa baga nakuha nila yung accessibility ng isang mental health system. Unlike hindi ko lang talaga alam sa atin diyan kung ang mental health system nag-iba na ba, maganda na ba, kung may pagbabago na ba, alam mo 'yun? So oo, so hindi ko talaga masasabi ngayon kung ano na ba ang nangyayari, kung ano na ba ang pagbabago diyan ngayon sa Pinas.
Alright. Okay. I hope it answers the question. Salamat. Thank you so much. Well, let's welcome, it's me, Belle. Thank you so much, Sisi, for coming. And once again, pag may tanong kayo, regardless of whatever question, Med Si Juan, if anyone has a question, anything at all, pwede niyong i-raise in here and we will try to get everything in clarity. Alright? Kasi kailangan naman natin talaga, especially in this situation, kailangan talaga natin bigyan yung anong tawag dito, bigyan natin pansin kung ano talaga yung nangyayari sa buhay-buhay ngayon. Alright, let's move on to the next question kasi wala pa dito. I'll get my yung ready question dito kasi galing dito sa random people that I have talked with, and these are the questions that they me to raise to you kasi hindi sila makakapunta sa live. Sabi nila, ano bang pwede namin gawin sa sitwasyong ito na walang-wala talaga kami at walang trabaho? How does it kasi hindi na namin alam, and mentally we are affected. Sabi nila, they are affected mentally, psychologically, and everything. So ano ba daw yung gagawin ng nila na walang-wala talaga? They are in this pandemic situation right now, pero walang-wala talaga sila. So ano yung what's your suggestion in order for them to maintain their sanity? But before you answer that one, let me just acknowledge our new friend in here, Pinoy Traveler. Pinoy Traveler, thank you very much for coming. Absent ka sa ilang show ko. But anyhow, thank you Pinoy Traveler for coming. Maraming salamat. Gandang gabi host, maayong gabi, love Christmas greetings here. Pinoy Traveler, my guest is from Australia. Hindi ko lang alam if baka kapitbahay niyo si Hysterical, but my guest is from Australia, head nurse ng psychiatric hospital dyan. And our topic is about issues on addiction and mental health in general. So Pinoy Traveler, if you have any questions at all, you may raise it here and keep on listening. All right? You can just raise it and we can answer that. Okay, going back to the question, Hysterical. How about Pinoy Traveler, before that, pakidikit kalambang naman sa nakapin. Waiting ng special guest natin ngayon. Pakidikit kalambang naman, please. All, and then, babalikan kayo niyan mamaya. Very reliable din naman to Energan. Okay, let's move on.
Well, to answer your question, Miss Nika, I think dyan papasok yung good support system mo. Dyan yung mga kaibigan mo, yung pamilya mo. Kasi I think hindi mo naman, you cannot go through a pandemic or a hard situation po na mag-isa. Ako nga din siguro kung mahirap yung sitwasyon, parang hindi ko siguro kakayanin kung ako lang. So I think I need to find, kasi I think as a person, instinct mo na kasi yun parang maghahanap ka ng parang way to become more productive in this time of situation na may COVID-19, ang daming restrictions, naka-lockdown tayo, tapos walang-wala ka talaga, hindi ka pwedeng makalabas, hindi ka pwedeng mag-exercise, at saka depress ka na. So I think it's about time for you to maybe call someone, let's say family mo, friend mo, ganito, ganyan, wala ako, pwede bang ganito? syempre, yung I think your family wouldn't say no, your friend wouldn't say no, I think your colleagues wouldn't say no pag hingi ka ng tulong kasi may panapanahon din yan eh. Maybe it's just your time na walang-wala ka and then maybe dadating ang panahon 3 years from now, sila naman din ang wala. So it's alam mo yun, I always believe na bilog talaga ang mundo kasi you'll never know na maybe right at this time walang-wala ka tapos tinulungan ka ng friend mo tapos after 3 years sila naman ang wala, ikaw naman ang tutulong. Alam mo yun? So it's always just a good family support system like your friends, like maybe your neighbors, hindi natin alam kasi kasi yun nga 'di ba kung hindi ka hihingi ng tulong wala din tutulong kasi maybe they thought that you're just okay. So yun nga. But in times, kung sa question mo din, it's outside pandemic, na walang restriction at lockdown, na walang-wala ka talaga, I think sa atin dyan may TESDA naman, di ba? Kung TESDA na tutulungan ka talaga na mga a little bit of like vocational courses siguro na maka-learn ka ng mga skills, di ba? Para makapag-start ng hanap buhay and all.
Meron naman talagang di ba? Meron namang different solutions in every problem, di ba? At meron din namang iba-ibang channel of things that one can do, di ba? So di ba? I think kailangan lang talagang hanapin yon which one of it. Kasi otherwise, hindi mo talaga mabibigyan ng anong tawag dito, hindi mo mabibigyan ng solusyon kung ano-ano mga klaseng problema yung dumating. Right?
Totoo.
Yeah, kasi wala naman talagang blooming heart. Thank you so much for coming, Ceci. Uy, magtanong kayo ha. This is a very big a very big anong tawag dito, a very good avenue of learning for tonight kasi hindi all the time that I can be able to invite our guest for this afternoon. So let's take the opportunity pag meron kayong mga questions dito. And then follow-up question. But how do you say this? Madali lang ha. Ano pa yung question dito? Okay. The question is here. Nakakaalis pa ba ang isang tao kapag nasa sitwasyon na sila? What is your stand on this? Nakakaalis pa ba ang isang tao kapag nasa sitwasyon na sila ng depression at ng anong tawag dito? Mental health problem.
Oo. Kung may sapat na treatment, may sapat na support from the support from the government, like let's say nakakuha na sila ng enough psychiatric treatment.
Yes.
Or let's say may good support system, let's say kung depression man, may good family support system. Kung let's say kung sinasabi mo man Miss Nika na depression lang, na hindi naman masyadong major depression talaga na kinakailangan ng admission talaga ng hospital, well, nakakaalis naman talaga ng depression kung binigyan lang ng chance na mag-vent out ang isang tao at magsabi ko anong problema, di ba? At magbibigay ng solusyon. For every problem, I think there's always a solution. So naka-vent out ng feelings, ganun. But if it's a major depression na kinakailangan talaga na mag-admission sa isang hospital, if there's enough psychiatric treatment, then medications and accessibility to it, nakakaalis talaga ang isang individual. So at saka kung may good compliance din, kasi depende din yun sa willpower ng isang pasyente at saka sa tao. Kung what if nga tinutulungan mo na yung tao, gustong umalis pero ayaw naman din tulungan yung sarili, so wala pa din yun. So alam mo yun, so if malakas yung willpower nila na they wanted to help themselves and they wanted to become better, opo, makakaalis sila sa sitwasyon nila, at saka if they are really compliant with their treatment, and the answer is a big yes.
Oh, okay.
Mm-mm.
Very, very, very good, no? Pero how do you handle, paano niyo ba hinahandle yung isang sitwasyon ng, for example, recovering addict? How do you na i-control siya na para hindi na talaga siya magiging bumalik sa pagiging addict?
May ano kasi yun, Miss Nika, may stage yun ng isang may stage yun ng tawag nito, ng isang rehabilitation ng isang addict.
Alright.
Oo. So may inpatient yun na we called it cold turkey method. Cold turkey meaning to say na i-stop lahat yung tinitake ng isang tao, yung mga ginagamit ng mga example, mga droga ng mga medications, lahat ng yung ginagamit niya na nakakos ng addiction. Like there are medications that causes drug of addictions eh. So we call it, there is a method cold turkey na abruptly na isa-stop lahat ng mga medications na pinapa-experience lahat ng withdrawal symptoms ang isang pasyente or an individual, tapos doon sa isang inpatient yan, tapos ita-transfer naman ang pasyente na naman sa community, which is minomonitor ng isang community case manager, I think. Tapos doon nagpa-follow up, chine-check always, ganito ganyan. Tapos may I think mostly sa lahat ng sa lahat ng countries, may mga community detox program, community rehabilitation program. So ganun, may mga proseso. So detox then to rehab.
Akala
So,
ko kasi yung cold turkey na sinasabi mo, yung pasyente pinapakain ng malamig na turkey yung buong-buo.
Hindi. Cold turkey lang yun yung method na sinastop lahat.
Okay. So na after that you will give your approach of treatment na.
Approach. Oo. Pero sa method na yun, yung tinatawag na cold turkey, andun lang yung nurse na naka-standby para i-check ang pasyente na safe ba talaga at all times. Kasi nag-experience yung pasyente na yun na massive withdrawals Withdrawals at the time na, kasi let's say example lang na ako na excessive or chain smoker talaga ako, tapos I wanted to quit smoking talaga. So, gusto ko mag-cold turkey. I will just abruptly, kung gusto ko sana mag-stop ng mag-smoke, dapat gradual, di ba? Pero kung gusto ko talaga abrupt ng yung tinatawag yung cold turkey, so abrupt talaga, stop lahat, ayoko mag-smoke. So mag-experience ka ng lahat, ang dami mong experience yan, headache, magsusuka ka, mahihilo ka. So ang nurse, one of the responsibilities of the nurse lang is to make sure that the patient is safe during withdrawal, experiencing the signs and symptoms, parang ganun.
So yun yung responsibility, tapos monitoring until such time the treatment is going to be fully
effective.
Okay. And effectiveness of the treatment as well. Okay. So yun pala yun, no? Kasi talaga ito talaga yung very, very like you have discussed earlier, this is the stigma talaga, no? Stigma talaga to kasi pag sinabing, kapag even up to these days, ito yung nangyayari kapag pumunta ang isang tao sa isang psychiatrist, nililabel talaga kaagad diretso yung tao na buang. But hindi naman, di ba? It's the reason that you go to a psychiatrist kasi you are seeking opinion and also a possible therapy, right? Naaayon doon sa mga pangyayari. Hindi pwedeng maglalagay tayo ng therapy na hindi naman ayon sa mga pangyayari. So, di ba? So, let's just make it clear at tanggalin natin yung stigma na sinasabi na, buwang yung isang tao na
kasi hindi naman lahat ng Miss Nika, lahat ng pumunta sa psychiatrist o sa psychologist buwang na agad, hindi naman nun. Kasi lahat lucky lang sa mga taong may access to psychologist at psychiatrist kasi nagtutulungan sila, di ba? Pero yung ibang unfortunate na walang pera na pumupunta doon, di ba? Mahirap yung walang yung mga at least this channel is a good platform for you na nakashare ka na ay may ganito pala na natatanggal yung stigma na hindi lahat ng mga tao na nakikita natin sa daan buwang na agad. We just don't know na may ini-experience sa palang taong ganito tapos we've been so really insensitive na ganito na pala ang nangyayari sa kanila, yung alam mo yung ganun. So parang fortunate lang and it's just a blessing na you have your channel as a platform na to let everyone know na para tanggalin din ang stigma about this kind of people kasi dapat hindi naman sana dapat ganun.
Yes, and also yung in this case kasi na dapat mawala yung judgment kaagad kasi dapat isipin natin na hindi lahat ng tao na dumadaan sa ganito ay yung lahat ng galing sa ito ng certain na pangyayari talaga or yung may rason, di ba? Kailangan natin alamin muna bago tayo manghusga kasi it's very unfair for people also to receive such comment na wala naman silang ginagawa talaga. May follow-up question tayo dito kay Lady Shang. Sabi niya, in your own opinion, do you think that our culture can be manipulative towards raising children?
I don't think so. I would be biased if I say yes, and I would be biased if I say no because I totally love our culture. Kasi ang ganda ng kahit ang mga Western culture na amaze talaga sa kultura ng Pilipino kasi we are so family oriented. We are so I'm talking about the Filipino culture ha. We're so family oriented, may disiplina tayo, may respeto, kahit nga pagpasok ng tawag nito pag we're visiting other people's house, we still have the value and the respect of taking out our own shoes and leaving it outside. Respeto na yun eh. So parang naamin sila, why are you leaving your shoes? Parang bakit mo iniiwan yung sapatos mo sa labas? Sabi, and that's a sign of respect na alam mo yung nadadala pa rin natin. So hindi siya,
it's culture.
Yeah, it's not manipulation. It's like a legacy na tinuturo na parang we hand it over to our children, to our like great grandchildren's, and it's a good way. I think it's a good behavior na tinuturo natin sa mga anak natin and to the rest of the generation, the next generations.
Pero Eric, like for example, I'd like to state kasi basing sa question niya, I have read something between the lines no? Kasi perhaps this would also apply for alam mo yung 'di ba sa kultura ng Pilipino, although hindi naman natin siguro linalahat no kasi hindi naman talaga lahat no pero this is what we also observe in most families, inoobliga nila yung mga anak nila to like for example, alam mo yon na kailangan kang tumapos ng pag-aaral, kailangan kang ganito kasi para matulungan mo ang lahat. Tapos pag naka-abroad yung anak, nakapag-asawa ng ganon, I've heard and I've witnessed so many Filipinos who are doing this. Pinipiga nila yung mga bata, yung mga anak nila, na kinokondisyon nila yung utak ng mga anak nila na they are obliged to help everything. Tapos, yung pamilya, pagdating sa Pilipinas, walang ibang ginagawa kundi nagsusugal, tapos they spread to other people na, ay, yung anak ko mayaman kasi, dahil binibigyan ako ng ganito. And with knowing the exact reality that their kids in abroad are also struggling. The money are not they're not picking the money in the cart.
Okay. I think may punto ka rin doon Miss Nika kasi I think nasa sa lang din yun, nasa sa OFW lang din yun na yung Pilipinong nagtatrabaho na to stop sa umpisa pa lang stop na yung behavior na yun kasi I think it's a tradition na siguro sa as a Filipino na kahit nga sa pagpapadala ng package and ganito obliga na kahit wala wala ka ng obligation na magpapadala ka pa rin kasi it's our tradition and it's our culture na magpapadala ka. Alam mo yung ganun? Kasi I don't know. I remember I had a teacher before when I was in my university. Sinasabi niya sa amin na she her mother told her before na sinilang kita di sa mundong ito, but you don't have the responsibility na parang isauli yung obligation na yun toward me as your mother. Parang ganun,
Parang-
alam mo yun? Kasi, oo, wala kang obligation towards me. So, parang shinare na yung ano na yun, shinare na yung parang wisdom na yun na parang when your mother did raised you as a kid and as a mature person now, wala kang obligation to give it back to them because that's their obligation to raise you up as a good person, as a good adult. But going back to the talk of about tradition and culture, I think that particular person or OFW kailangan na putulin agad yung behavior na yun na ay hindi pwedeng ganyan na lang na magpapadala ako tapos ganito ang gagawin niyo diyan sa Pilipinas kasi hindi naman tayo namumulot ng pera dito sa ibang bansa eh. Maybe because ang mga tao diyan sa Pilipinas iniisip naman nila na just because you're working abroad, you're earning millions, which in fact hindi naman totoo, di ba? Oo. Malaki lang kasi kino-convert, but when you're here, it's not. So,
Absolutely. So,
Mm.
hindi talaga siya. Let's not just face it na it has something to do with the culture. Kasi if we are going to say this, parang it speaks on general na lahat-lahat na lang. Kasi I know for many also sa Pilipino, hindi naman din ganyan. Kasi yung parents nila is nakakaintindi naman talaga. They work on their own kasi hindi sila umaasa sa mga anak nila kasi they have their own income. So it's just that there are some unlucky sa mga kapatid natin na nagkakaroon ng mga magulang na talagang very, very manipulative. Right?
Mm.
And probably it's not just from our country. Perhaps in some other countries, probably meron din yun. Hindi lang natin.
Oh, hindi lang siguro na hindi lang masyadong na tawag nito, hindi lang masyadong na parang na-emphasize, pero actually, just to be honest, amazed nga mga Western culture sa Filipino culture and then they love it. They love it so much. Parang sila parang proud sila na, ay, ganyan parang kultura ng Pilipino. Parang, you're so family-oriented. Like, imagine, like, kahit yung mga parents nila, nilalagay nila sa aged care, sa atin, hindi nakatira pa rin sa bahay, di ba? So, yung pa lang dyan, yung tawag nito, yung kultura pa lang sa ganung level is, ang ganda nga di ba?
Very, very. Campus Creed, dali lang siya. Campus Creed, thank you so much for coming. I'm dropping down the link for you. Salamat, Campus Creed. Our topic for this afternoon is about issues and addiction and mental health in general. If you have any questions, you may ask it at all. And also, you can make friends over sa lahat ng mga nandito. Mga very reliable tayo and organic. And, ayan, pag may mga tanong, you just write in there, ha? Salamat, Campus Creed, for coming. And pag merong meron kayong mga tanong lang kayo ng tanong, ha? We need to fully understand this situation right now kasi ang daming apektado sa sitwasyon ngayon. Mapabata, mapamatanda, mapalolo, mapalola, everybody's are affected right now. And we need to put focus on it. And kailangan na talaga natin siyang bigyan ng sitwasyon sa solusyong ito. Diba? Kasi this one, hindi ito this is not a very ordinary thing. This thing is just very, very, anong tawag dito, masakit na to kasi maraming nawawalan yung trabaho. And with the situation ngayon, marami din nagkakaroon ng issues regarding mental health. Ayan, ito ako, may another question ako dito, Eric, with regards to that. Posible bang hindi na lang isipin ang problema at magpakasaya na lang? And just forget the problems, Posible ba yun?
I don't think so. Kasi kailangan mo talagang harapin yun Kasi kahit naman ako kahit naman ako before when I was way back on my younger years, umiinom naman talaga tayo the next day. Umiinom naman talaga tayo at saka lasing na lasing tapos the next day ayan pa rin yung problema. So, alam mo yun? So, I think the therapeutic and good way is to just face it, maghanap ng solusyon, make a good plan. I think hindi naman ako, I'm not a good counselor, I'm not a certified therapeutic counselor. This is just parang inaano ko lang yung experience ko. I learned it the hard way kasi before kasi nung way back sa mga panahon ng mga kabataan natin, Miss Nika, 'di ba? Yung yung mga problema tayo, maglalasing ka, the next day andyan pa rin yung problema. So what does it bring? Parang wala, negative pa rin. So andyan pa rin yung problema. So I think look for a good solution. Parang maghanap ka na lang ng parang a better way to face it. Ano ang gawin na masolve mo yung problema mo? Kasi walang problema na walang solusyon. There's always a solution. Wag lang financially. Kasi mahirap talaga yun pag financially na ang problema. Pero pa rin yun. You will always still find a solution for every problem.
Very, very true. Pero ito kasi yung kasi yung main problem dito anong tawag dito? Most of the people kasi, yung tendency kasi is they try to anong tawag dito? They try to
tago na
tago, hindi nila fini-face yung issue, kino-cover up nila, nililibing nila hanggang sa umabot sa point na nahihirapan silang isolve yung issue. Kasi at a certain moment, binaliwala nila pero pumuputok na pala siya kasi sa sobra na palang grabe sa sitwasyon.
Kaya nga, yung sinasabi ko nga kanina, yung you have to acknowledge your own feelings kasi nga like it's okay not to be okay. Kasi kung always mo tinatago yung yung mga problema mo, ganito ganyan, wala kang mapagsabihan, ganito ganyan. Wala. You'll end up committing suicide, and that's another mental health issue that we're always facing now, and wala pa rin talagang gobyerno, wala talagang solusyon na nagagawa hanggang ngayon. Alam mo yun? And it's still a prevalent it's a highest parang statistics pa rin ng suicide rate ngayon sa buong mundo kasi walang nangyayari
Wala. Merong follow-up question si Lady Shy. A follow-up question sa Lady Shy. I have heard dito sa abroad na I have heard dito sa abroad na kaya yung parents natin ay nasa mga anak dahil mahirap lang tayo. Kasi how do you react?
Ano yun, Miss Nika?
Sabi niya, I have heard dito sa abroad na kaya yung mga parents natin ay nasa mga anak dahil mahirap lang tayo. Sabi niya, parang sinasabi niya ang reasons daw, kaya yung mga parents ay nakatira pa rin sa mga anak at sinasabing kultura natin, that is because reasons in most reasons daw nasabi na sa yung nakatira outside the Philippines is because yung reason is mahirap tayo. Kaya yung parang buo-bot nakatira sa isang bahay kasi not everybody can afford a separate home of their own. Kaya nagbubukod mostly in one house. I don't know if that is
kung nasa ibang bansa,
yung mga nasa like mga Western, some of the Western people said, the reason why they are living together because they can afford to have their own.
I think may punto din siya kasi to be honest, mahal talaga pag bumili ng bahay sa Western country, mahal talaga ano, ilang libo kaya na ano, na ilang taon ka pa puwedeng ano, mag-ipon ng pera para lang makabili ka ng bahay, lote at bahay dito sa Western country. Secondly, I think it's well, look on the brighter side, like you're living with your family. It's good na nakatira ka sa family kasi we're Filipinos and we are actually born and raised living together with a family oriented like a culture race and we are raised in a family tied family. So
Diba?
alam mo yun, I think you just have to look on a brighter side, parang positive side na lang siguro.
Yes.
Pero to answer my punto ka din Miss Nika, to answer her question, I think oo, mahirap talaga. Kaya medyo in a majority sa population ng mga overseas Filipino workers na nagtatrabaho sa ibang bansa, nakatira sa isang nagkukumpul-kumpulan kasi syempre mahirap talagang bumili ng lote at bahay talaga. Not unless if you're really rich.
And
Siguro
also,
mayaman kayo at saka ang dami mag-ambag-ambag, pwede yung bumili.
yeah, but then also the question also here, I think na nire-refer niya dun sa, di ba sabi natin, na-discuss natin kanina, na sabi ng ibang mga friends mo dyan sa Australia na it's so nice with the culture of the Filipino kasi we have a very close family ties and a lot of our Filipino, a lot of Filipino families are living together like yung nanay, dyan pa rin yung sa anak, yung mga apo, still living in one house. But sinasabi natin because that is the culture. Pero sinasabi din naman kasi sa ibang Western, sa ibang country, sinasabi din nila that basing on their opinion, the reason why the Filipino is referring it as a culture, it's not really a real culture. They said, ano daw, yung opinion nila to hindi ito sa lahat, but opinion nila ito na sinasabi nilang kasi daw it is difficult for their children to separate from the family kasi they can't afford to live on their own. So the tendency is wala talaga, di ba? Nakikipag ano pa rin sila sa isang bahay, ang dami na nila, di ba?
Pwede din yun, pwede din yun. Siguro, depende, oo. Depende
Yeah.
siguro.
Yeah, but I think it matters. Depende lang talaga. These are cultural biases. So hindi rin naman tayo pwede makapagsalita kung ano yung exact kasi we all have different cultures and it's just a matter of understanding it and giving respect to it kasi iba-iba yung kinalakihan natin. Sa ibang
Oo,
country, meron. Sa
totoo.
ibang country, meron pa din. So, let's just respect that part, right?
Part.
And
Oo.
our newcomers in here, Campus Grade, pakidikit naman yung ano natin, pakidikit naman yung ibababa ko ngayon ha. And also, Scarlett Wonders, pakidikit yung guest natin for tonight. I have a very, very special guest that talks about issues on addiction and mental health. So, pakidikit naman lang po. Thank you so much. And then, ayun, you guys have any questions? Kasi, nag-over na ako kay Eric kasi I only promised 2 hours of his time to talk about
That's
it.
okay. That's okay. Okay.
Are you still fine? Are you still fine in there? Are you still...
Yes, I'm okay. I'm okay.
All right. So, ayan, if you guys pag may tanong pa kayo, I encourage everyone na you can type it. You can type it so para ano natin salamat naman Scarlett Wonder Sisi. Thank you so much. Ayan, susukian kayo ni Eric mamaya or baka bukas na para ano kasi Australia is like 2 hours 2 hours advance. 2 ka ba or 3?
Three.
Three. So he's 3 hours advance. So he is at right now. 9:26 in Australia right now. Full pack na kayo host.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Thank you so much. Babalikan kayo niyan. Promise ko yan. Babalikan kayo niyan lahat. And then also sa hindi pa nakapaglablaban sa lahat dito, makipaglablaban na kayo kasi para naman you guys can enjoy uh, the perks of uh, friendship here. All right. So,
Hmm.
ano ba? Meron pa tayong tanong na kasi I already have salamat langga. Thank you so much sa mga full pack na diyan. Uh, dikit-dikitan natin diyan sa ating guest for tonight. Thank you so much. And then, ayun, late ka, ang dami namin napag-usapan ni Hysterical kanina with everything. But anyway, nare-review nyo rin naman to kasi naka-auto-save naman to automatic. So everybody can just review on this part. Ayan. So, if meron kayong mga tanong, tanong lang kayo ha. Lovers in Italy, thank you naman so much for coming. And for those very new in here na nandito pa, maraming salamat. And babalikan kayo ni Hysterical later or tomorrow. So, but that is replay na lang ako. Yeah, re-replay mo yun, Sisi. Everything. So, pag wala na to, I'll give another extra 5 minutes ha. Bago ko pakawalan si Eric, I'll give another 5 minutes para muna, para naman makapagpahinga siya at makapag-take ng dinner. Pag may mga tanong, wala take lang time. By the way, guys, yung guest natin for tonight is from Australia, working as a head nurse in there, for specializing in Asia mental health issues and drug addiction and mental health. I'm really sorry. Nagulo-gulo na yung bibig ko. Nami-mix ko na lahat yung words dito. Ano ba to? Ayan, but so far, Eric, thank you so much for your time, ha? I mean, na-appreciate ko talaga you coming over here and check mo mamaya yung mga dumikit sa'yo, tapos balikan mo na lang sila. Makikita mo naman yung sa YT. Kasi si Eric, guys, is very, very new in here.
No, very much welcome. Like this, Miss Nika, really so much. Like it's been a pleasure to be on your channel. Like I'm really new to this platform, and I think siguro naman din, I think on my YouTube channel, marami kayong tawag ito, marami kayong learn because I'm gonna be talking about good things like informative stuffs. So, I'll be thinking more good contents on my channel as well na makakatulong din sa inyo.
Alright.
And Miss Nika is there. So,
Yeah.
she helped me also in setting up my YouTube channel. So, she's really a big part of it as well. So, really, really thankful for her. And yeah. So, I'm just really thankful that she invited me to talk about addictions and mental health, which is really I'm passionate about. So it's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure.
Ang ganda-ganda nga eh. I like it because somehow at the same time, I'm also learning new stuff. That's not my field na nakaka-inspire din naman. Oh, may pahabol. Eric, may pahabol na question kasi si Lady Shy. What will you do if your patient will not accept help from the healthcare? Sabi niya.
Well, di ba may patient's bill of rights? So, I don't know kung saan si Ma'am Lady Shy nakatira or which country is she, pero may mental health act kasi sa bawat country eh. So, the patient, that particular mental health patient has the right to refuse treatment. Okay. But may social worker naman sa particular na area na yan na pwedeng mag-reach out sa particular na pasyente na kakausap sa kanya. Not necessarily ang hospital, pero yung kung sa atin sa baga is yung health center. Yung health center, yung center may social worker siguro. I don't know how it works in the pero may social worker na kakausap, may mga community case workers na tutulong sa pasyenteng yan, kakausapin sila, explain sa kanila na ganito, ganyan, kailangan ba nila, if ang pasyente mag-refuse siya, ayoko talagang magpa-admit sa hospital, pwede ba ganito, ganyan, as outpatient, pwede yun. As outpatient, pwede yun, oo, pwede. Pero depende yun kasi the patient has the right to refuse treatment. But if the patient, if ang let's say, if ang community, let's say, case worker is they think that the patient needs like important, like if the patient needs the necessary treatment, pwede silang dalhin sa hospital under a particular order in
Alright.
healthcare. Oh, may tawag nun. Depende lang yun kung saan nakatira si Ma'am Lady Shy. Kasi depende yun may kanya-kanyang ano yun mental health system bawat countries. So
Yeah. So,
mm.
Lady Shy, wherever you are, I think you need to consult your, ano naman yung law na nandyan na meron kayo. I think it has something to do whether for patient protection or for the healthcare system protection. It all varies on different countries. So, I think kailangan lang talaga din ng mga tao na magiging aware din kung ano yung sistema what they have, right?
Mm. Oo.
Kasi iba-iba, di ba? Whether you are in Europe, you are in America, you are in Australia. So, it all has different,
Totoo. Totoo. Kahit nga din siguro sa Pilipinas may ano na sila diyan Mental Health Act, hindi ko lang alam kung ano. But
What
I
about
think
what about dyan sa Australia? How does it
meron.
work? Ah,
If we deem to find a particular patient they're really mentally ill,
Yeah.
then we have the right to put them under the Mental Health Act na ilagay namin sila sa ospital.
alright.
May mga grupo, may mga team yun, may psychiatric team yun or mga mental health team yun sila na pwedeng magdala sa kanila sa mga, let's say, magdala sa hospital na i-admit ang pasyente sa loob ng hospital, parang ganun. Oo. Yung may mga ano ba, mga grupo-grupo.
Oh, yeah. I think I understand that one. Okay. So, meron talagang division na yung ginagawa nila is focus na talaga doon na area na yun.
Oo. Oo. Which is good.
Alright. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Kasi ano naman meron talaga maganda yung sistema. Yeah. But anyhow, depende din kasi naman we cannot compare it on a per country basis kasi iba-ibang budget din, di ba?
Oo.
We don't want to talk about so much of politics as well kasi
Yeah. Oo.
di ba? Sabi what if may nagtanong, sandali lang ha. May nagtanong, what if denial? What if denial daw? How does it?
Anong
What if
denial? Saang denial? Denial sa?
Sa possible na possible diagnosis. Like for example, sinasabi na you are diagnosed as for example siguro
Bipolar, parang ganun?
bipolar. For example, sinasabi ka ron, you have an ADHD plus bipolar. Tapos, sinasabi na patient, no, I don't have. Alam mo yan, ano mo naman yun, very, very common for the patient, diba? The denials. Ayaw talaga. Ayaw mag-admit. So, how does that one work on your end?
May further assessment pa rin. Yung hanggang kailangan kasi satisfy yung pasyente na ganito talaga yung diagnosis mo. So, kailangan i-prove talaga. Hindi naman pwedeng, parang kung sa court of law lang, ganito guilty ka, tapos ito lang yung ilalagay mong ebidensya. Hindi naman ganun, di ba? So, parang may further assessment pang gagawin to prove na ganito talaga ang diagnosis niya. Yung parang ganun.
Yeah, pero what are ano yung mga first, very, very basic lang? Let's just talk about like the basic symptoms of being a bipolar.
Let's say, ang bipolar, dalawa kasi yun ha. So,
Okay.
disclaimer lang din again ha, hindi naman ako yung psychiatrist, registered psychiatric nurse lang din ako, but based on the experience, yung dalawa kasi yung bipolar, it's either bipolar 1 at bipolar 2. So, yung bipolar kasi, either from depression to mania, meaning to say, na de-depress yung tao to becoming elated. Elated means to say, sobrang saya-saya, or from sobrang masayahing tao to nagiging the next day, magiging umiiyak, nasa kabilang na lang, nasa corner, tapos umiiyak, hindi na nakikipag-usap. Ganun ang bipolar.
Right.
Hindi kumakain, nag-isolate, ganun yung mga symptoms Yung parang kung ano yung anong signs and symptoms ng depression plus kung anong yung signs and symptoms ng mania, ganun din siya. Oo. Mm. So parang combination siya kaya tinatawag siyang bipolar. Bi is parang dual polar. So parang together. Pero kaya tinawag siyang bipolar 1 or bipolar 2 kasi magkaiba siya. Either nagsisimula siya from depression to mania or mania to depression. Mm.
So yun pala yun.
Mm.
Right. So at least for the benefit of ano ba kasi I'm sure kasi marami ito very basic ko to naririnig ng mga tao. Ito even
Oo.
to my friends, very basic ko talaga naririnig na ano ka bipolar? Ano
Oo,
ka?
oo.
Feeling ko bipolar. Alam mo naman yung ginagamit na lang yung terminology ba? Kahit naman talaga the term itself is very serious na hindi dapat gamitin. Ginagawa like a daily
Parang
jargon.
joke. Totoo.
Yeah. At least nalilinawan ang viewers natin na yung ganun, meron talagang ganun. And it's very, very much existent talaga. We can't deny the fact na nandito talaga siya. Diba?
But it's actually it's not curable but it's treatable.
Treatable, yes. Like you just have to have the maintenance, the proper
Oo.
maintenance.
For as long as compliant lang sila. Yun lang.
Yeah.
Yun
Yeah.
talaga.
Yeah, because I know quite a few na merong maintenance talaga. But of course, we there's nothing wrong with it. It's just an illness.
Wala namang masama doon. For as long lang is may monitor, compliant, tapos follow-ups at saka support systems, yun lang talaga. Support systems.
Very, very important talaga. That's it. And then, all right, I think we were able to tackle so much, and we gave clarity to all the questions from all our friends here. And yeah, I'm very, very thankful to it. Ayan, ayan ha. Guys, pakidikit sa nakapin dyan at sa mga binaw. Trunks Donaire, thank you so much, Trunks, for coming. Pwede kayong maglablaban dyan. And also nasa pin, pakidikit, babalikan kayo din mamaya. That's our special guest for this evening. Ayan, we have consumed 2 hours and a half more, I think, our guest is 2 hours pa yung promise ko rito. But anyhow,
That's fine.
Okay, pag may question. Sabi ni Lady Shai, salamat sa inyo. You are very much welcome and everybody's very much welcome to ask and also to participate. All right? Kasi maganda, the topic is very nice to discuss and it's an interactive. You see how the interaction is, diba? Ang daming interaction, but everybody's learning. I'm learning, so everybody's learning. Yun yung pinaka-importante dito, diba? Everybody are learning.
Totoo.
Diba?
Totoo.
Yes. Ayan. So far, my prepared questions in here na randomly asked with other friends that I have and other people. So far, na-answer naman lahat ni Eric. And so far, the questions from our audience in here, you were able to answer it. You were able to answer it. And of course, I'd like to thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to invite you in here. And I hope the next time around, mapapaunlakan mo pa rin naman ako if I'm going to. Yes. All right. But ayan, take your the turn is yours. You can ask the audience before I let you go.
I would like to say thank you to everyone, especially to Miss Nika for inviting me to her channel tonight. And hopefully I was able to answer all your questions and I satisfied you by answering it. It was just based on my clinical experience working as a registered nurse for almost like 15 years now. And hopefully you'll follow me in my channel. It's Hysterical. It's HIST. I think she placed it there. It's my name is ERI. Yeah, it's pinned already. It will be a really informative channel. If it's not because of her, I think I wouldn't be making my channel as well. So it's all because of her. That's why I made a YouTube video. So thank you so much for your all the audience of Miss Nika Monica, and I'm really really thankful for giving me this opportunity and having to have this platform to share you guys about an overview, not an overview, but I think you guys know already about addictions and mental health, but just to take out a stigma
Yes.
about what's there in what's there like outside the community that surrounds addictions and mental health. So I hope you understand a little bit more about what I talk about, and I hope that I was able to answer all your queries and all your questions. Thank you so much for having me.
You are
And
very much welcome. And whenever I would be needing another topic, perhaps depending on the demand, I will let you know. And you're very, very much welcome here any time.
I
All
will
right.
always be there. I will always be there for you. No
Thank you
worries.
so much. Thank you so much, Eric. And
Thank
see you
you.
soon. All right.
Thank you.
Have a
Bye.
wonderful evening. Bye for
Uh,
now.
Likewise. Bye. Night.
Ayan, ayan. Papasalamat tayo sa ating guest for tonight. It was very, very nice of him to na pinapaunlakan tayo dito kasi nga the topic that I have tackled for this evening is very, very sensitive talaga. And, ayaw ko rin namang ma-quote kasi I am a psychology graduate, pero yung topic na to is very sensitive. So I wanted to do a, to invite someone talaga who can specifically talk deeper than what I than my knowledge can explore. All right. Anyway, ayan. Uy, andyan pa ba kayo? Oy, ayan, shout out sa 8 million viewers natin ngayon. Maraming maraming salamat ha. Ayan, parang my bones are not working na. I think I need to dance.
Zile zile, zile zile y'all. Girl, mille mille, mille mille. My
Ayan, ayan. Shout out sa inyong lahat yan ha. Shout out to my 8 million viewers right now. Maraming maraming salamat for staying with me all this time. And andyan, you haven't left me. Salamat, salamat. Thank you so much. And yeah, but guys, I forgot to greet you. Happy Christmas and advance Happy New Year as well. Ayan, happy kasi I wanted to promote yung happiness. Wag naman yung, hindi ko na ginagamit kasi yung merry eh. I wanted to use happy kasi mas obvious siya when you say happy. It's, nare-relate siya sa smile, di ba? So I want everybody to smile and just be happy kasi this is the true essence of, this is the test. Malaking test itong pandemya na nangyayari sa atin. We wanted to promote the happy lang ha. And maglablaban kayo at Campers Grid. Yeah, malaki, super laki na ng channel nito eh. I know Campers Grid from the Guhoy TV because the Guhoy TV was my classmate back in college. So, ayan, naglalaban kayo, nababalik naman to si Campers Grid. Very reliable din naman. Tasteful, Sip and Bites, ayan. I hope you guys nakikipaglablaban kayo sa isa't isa and ano na kayo ngayon? Pretty much connected with each other. Ano ba ba? Sino pa ba dapat? Medsan Juan, thank you so much for coming. And lovers in Italy, ayan, background ko lang muna dyan ha. Kasi the topic is very, very serious right now. Ayan, yung iba, umalis na. But so far, if you guys are okay now. I'd like to thank everyone. I'd really like to thank everyone for coming over here and for staying with me. And for apparently I am way more than the time already. So, all right. So, I'd like to say good night and advance happy new year. I'd probably go on live by tomorrow. Let's just discuss some other things. Gusto ko naman tawanan. Sobra yung discussion ngayon. Nakakaantok na because it's really, really delicate and it's really, really nice. I love it. I've learned so much today. Anyway, thank you very much, everyone. And I hope to see you again the next time around. Have a wonderful, wonderful evening.